Romy is a well-known former rocker of the Magic Blue. Had you ever been to the Bombay Sapphire Distillery?
Bombay Sapphire.
I did while I was in England, thanks to you. It was amazing. Since their botanicals are their big deal, I am looking for drink variations to help bring them out. What were your favorite drinks? Sporting the Blue. Thanks, Dave. Dude, what a great point. No, I've never been, believe it or not. Been to London a number of times, never went to the distillery. Problem is, my man, my guy, I can't help you with that because I never mixed it with anything. Back in my day, back during my Bombay Sapphire era, my Bombay Sapphire period / era, I drank it
Bombay
straight
Sapphire.
up. I was a martini man, through and through. The only thing I ever mixed it with was vermouth, and then only a splash, and then I stopped doing that too. Like, I couldn't have that thing dry enough. So, I can't really advise you. I never mixed it with anything.
Lots of
ever.
ice.
No ice. Olives. And no juice. No olive juice. I didn't like it dirty. All I would do when I did that was shake it up, pour it in, drop a couple olives, never eat the olives, and then give the olives to the kids. And then Logan at age 9 could tell me what kind of gin it was. And I thought that was an incredible parlor trick, and his mother was mortified. And my favorite time of all, when he was 9, is when I dropped a couple of olives into some Grey Goose vodka. And I said, hey, tough guy, what is that? Is that Hendrix, or is that Bombay, or is that something else? He looks at me and he goes, I guess neither. I'm like, dang.
Correct.
At least he didn't know what kind of vodka it was. That would have been a problem. Granger helps your business move forward with supplies and solutions for every industry, free access to product specialists, safety recovery guides, 24/7 support, and more. Call, click, Granger.com, or just stop on by. My thanks to the champ, Teofimo Lopez, Chris Mannix, Darius Butler, and the XR4 Ti Plus U clone. See ya.
This message is for anyone looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, even if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or taking anxiety meds. Here's an example. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe overweight with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost about $200 a month. We're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. If you've had prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Get a quick quote by calling Term Provider at 800-249-1749. If you're looking for term life insurance but have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, or have other health issues, call Term Provider at 800-249-1749 or visit termprovider.com. termprovider.com.
Banking is banking until service is not the same. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust, and this year has been unusual, but we have continued to focus on what has always been important to us, our customers. When businesses needed access to the Paycheck Protection Program, our team of local bankers worked around the clock to successfully keep our customers open and their employees working. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? We are Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. Designed to power even the most passionate of armchair quarterbacks, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong, keep you in the zone, and recover from those triumphant wins.
Before I was just your average football fan, but thanks to Pepsi, I'm a football watching MVP. Nothing can stop me from cheering my team on to victory or overreacting when the ref makes a bad call. What do you mean he wasn't in? That looks like 2 feet to me.
With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi is the premier football watching beverage.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet or wiped buffalo sauce on my new couch. But thanks to Pepsi, I'm so in the zone, even Mike can't ruin my football party. See? Don't even care.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into a Victory Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you. Still fired up after the Pirate win on Saturday on 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are live online, pr927fm.com, and you can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. A big show coming your way today as we will recap ECU's victory over South Florida, coming up at 3:30 with Double B, Brian Bailey, a double-dip victory weekend for Bailey with his Cowboys and the Pirates. Of course, Dak Prescott going down. We will talk about that with Bailey coming up later on in this hour. The big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, had the Pirates on Saturday night. We'll talk to the big man about Monday Night Football and the upcoming week in college football and the NFL at 4 o'clock. Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector will drop by at 4:20. And at 5 o'clock, Troy D will be here inside the Pirate Radio studios, and we will talk to the athletics director of East Carolina University, Jon Gilbert. Got all that on the way and a whole lot more on today's show. And got Ellerby kicking it off here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Happy Victory Monday, Ellerby.
Man, what a great feeling it has been for 48 hours celebrating the Pirates beating a football team on a Saturday. They won one for the Clipper.
We called for it. They did it. We did it. I did it. You did it. We all did it together.
We did it, and Mike Houston and his team got it done.
They got her done.
So it was fun, though. I know the energy in the fifth quarter was awesome, and just a relief to get the goose egg off the board there. And the Pirates now 1-2 with some excitement going into the Navy game. I think people are optimistic about facing Navy more than normally. What do you think, Clip?
Maybe. I don't know.
Are you still cringing that Navy's on the schedule right now? Who would you rather be playing right now than Navy?
Out of anybody
left on the schedule?
Maybe Tulane. I don't know. I mean, Navy would be a high pick there. I mean, here's why I have caution. I went back today. I looked it up. I went to Ellerby's office and pulled out his Phil Steele's.
Yes.
And looked at the past ECU versus Navy spreads and the results of those games. Let's go back to 2010. ECU was a 3-point favorite at home against Navy and lost 76-35. 2011, the Pirates were actually big underdogs, 12-point dogs to Navy, and Dominique Davis had that record-breaking performance, went 40-45, and the Pirates won 38-35. Now, 2012, Navy was a 3-point favorite. They win 56-28. 2015, Navy's a 5-point favorite. They win 45-21. 2016, Navy's an 8-point favorite. They win 66-31. 2019, Navy's just a 7-point favorite. It's 42-10 in favor of Navy. Point being, these spreads have been kind of short. There have been optimistic heading into Navy games in years past, and it just has not gone the Pirates' way. Doesn't mean anything for this year, I know, but when I look at those results, Ellerby, it does cause me a little concern heading into Saturday.
Well, let's throw out a couple other stats that Navy's 3-0 against East Carolina in AAC play. They're 3-0 against East Carolina in Greenville. They've outscored the Pirates 198-94 in those 3 games in Greenville. So, beating Navy is just like beating South Florida. The Pirates have only done it once. And
now twice.
Yeah, now they've beaten South Florida twice.
Yeah.
But going into before Saturday,
right.
So
1-9.
Going into this game, the Pirates have only beaten Navy once in the history of the program. You mentioned that. And now there's another opportunity for East Carolina to continue to shift some trends maybe in their direction. And really, if you think about it, for the first time, be in the positive column in the American athletic standings for a long time as well. So Navy is currently in first place. They're undefeated.
2-0.
They're 2-0.
Now, they have had an odd schedule here. They're 2-0 in conference play after knocking off Temple on Saturday. They are 0-2 and have gotten blown out in their non-conference games. So against Air Force and BYU. But you're right, 2-0 in league play. Ronnie Woodward had them winning the league this year. So far, he's right. They're 2-0.
That's all that matters. In conference games, man.
Yeah. And now the Pirates have them at home with a few fans in the stands. I don't know how much of a big deal that's going to be, but there will be a few Pirate fans in the stands. We'll talk about that later with Jon Gilbert. But an opportunity here to keep this momentum going from Saturday's win.
Yeah, and the Pirates played well, start to finish on Saturday. I think we saw a lot of cool things that developed from Saturday. So hopefully they can build that momentum. I know the team celebration, the locker room videos, and everything after the game. It was just exciting just to see all the guys. I mean, finally be able to celebrate and relish in some of the hard work they've done. And hey, look, to get a win on the road in football or basketball in this conference has been really tough for the Pirates. So that was also a double win there as well.
Think what you will about South Florida. Not very good. They're brighter days ahead for Jeff Scott in South Florida. But this was a huge win for confidence purpose. Huge win. This is Mike Houston's biggest win since he's been at ECU. I think that's fair to say. On the road against South Florida. And Shirley, let's hear that locker room celebration from Saturday night. This was after the game, Mike Houston and the guys in the locker room after the victory over South Florida.
I could not be more proud of you. Seriously, I could not be more proud of you. Great week of practice. Great job preparation in the last 48 hours. Great focus. The best walkthroughs and meetings we've had. That just goes to show you, however you prepare, that's how you're going to play. Best Jake Verity, new school record for we know where the Lions are the victory, go Pirates here, East Carolina, here in OEC, loaded forward from the goal, we are the Pirates at ECU, East Carolina, here in OEC, we know where the Lions are the victory, go Pirates here, East Carolina, here in OEC.
Awesome to hear that celebration after the game. Puts a smile on my face, should put a smile on every Pirate fan's faces. And Rick Smith was here when we played that for the first time on the fifth quarter, and he said he got chills thinking about, all the work you put in, and the coaches, the players, the sacrifices, and when you lose, it's easy to think, is it worth it? Like, are we doing this for nothing? But after you put all that work in and get a big W like that, man, it's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah, you could feel the energy, and it was a cool moment on the fifth quarter because it was just raw video coming right off Twitter from the ECU football account, and the reaction was fun. I know when I saw it on there, when y'all played it on the fifth quarter, it was fun to watch, and it's good to celebrate. I mean, look, wins are hard. Celebrate the great moments. They've been few and far between of late, so hopefully it's something that they got the taste of victory, and they're back at work today and want to get another bite on Saturday against Navy.
It was great to have a victorious fifth quarter call-in show, U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show, and just like the team has to learn now how to handle success, how to handle a win, Pirate fans have to remember how to handle a win again, LRB. And there was a lot of Pirate beverages flowing on Saturday night. We'll have our big calls of the fifth quarter coming up later in the show, but wanted to highlight a couple of calls here, yes. LRB. And I'd say Josh in Greenville got us off to a good start. The first call on the fifth quarter on Saturday night. We'll start with Josh in Greenville. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Cliff, how are you?
Good, man.
Hey, what a win. That was amazing. Hey, Raji Harris, he had a breakout game today. CJ, he was amazing. Look, I'm sorry. All right.
Hey, Josh, we all celebrated with a few tonight. That's all right.
I've had a few. The offense, that was the offense that we wanted to see. Holden connected with CJ. He handed the ball off to Raji, and we got some touchdowns. That was a great win. And that was what we needed.
We did. We certainly did. All right, Josh, have another one, right. And thanks for calling.
All right, yes, sir.
All right, there's Josh getting us off to a celebratory start, and kind of sounded like a tennis match there for a while. What were those sounds going on, Shirley?
Hey, I'm sorry. All right.
Was he? Who was the grunter in tennis?
Yeah, like Martina Hingis, or I don't know who the.
It was Sharapova. Was she a grunter?
Maria Sharapova.
Yeah. They're all grunters.
I know they really are.
But, they all grunt.
But Josh is our new grunter, Shirley.
Yes. I'm sorry. All right.
I think the only thing for certain we can all agree on is that he took your advice and probably went and had another one.
Yes, he did. And why not, Pirate fans? Enjoy it.
Josh got the show off to a good start.
Hey, I'm sorry. All right.
Trying to crank it up, baby. Crank up that Pirate train.
It's tough to talk and hit tennis balls.
It is. Well, I thought Raji Harris had a good game tonight. Pete Sampras.
Or maybe perhaps he was playing beer pong with somebody and he was getting drilled.
I'm sorry. All right.
Josh, that was great. Can't wait to hear your next call coming up this week.
If Josh, now we got to give the Pirate Nation a little bit of leniency because it was a night game.
Yeah, it was late night.
Yeah, so if you're that crunked up at 4:00 on Saturday, then you're probably doing good work and celebrating pretty hard.
Who called and said? Oh, I think it was B. Pace called and said he. What did he say? 3 shots of Crown? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was like 3 shots of Crown, something else, and something else.
And
I forgot what it was.
Everything you did Saturday, Pirate fans, and this includes me, you got to do the same thing again, right? You got to keep the mojo going. So for a noon game, LRB, that is some early AM Crown shots.
That's tough. That really means you have to protect yourself on Friday night. Yeah. You have to be smart with decisions on Friday night.
Water
when there's a noon game.
Hydrate.
Yes, that goes for you too, Clip. You got to be smart about being able to perform on Saturday.
Yeah, when those Saturday nooners come in, there's no. I'm in bed early on Friday nights, Ellerby.
But the good news, this is your last Saturday game in October.
That is right. And we have 2 Saturdays off coming up, Shirley Rhodes and crew, Glenn Griffin, Chan Man. So we're excited about that.
For folks not following along, the Pirates have an open date on the 24th and then a Friday night game
Night Lights
at Tulsa on October 30th. So you'll have Halloween off.
You know, on Twitter Clipper, we talked about having it be the standard after a win is that when you come on the 5th quarter, you got to state where you're at. Not physically,
but how many you've had.
You got to give your count. Yeah. So we know what we're dealing with.
Somebody on it was Dixon, the Bedbreaker Davis, said that like the Dan Patrick show where you say your height and weight and they do a ding. You say how many you've had, and we play an arg after.
We'll do that.
Yeah, just state how many you've had. We don't judge you. We just want to know, and
we do need to know if shots have been involved because that does elevate things quite a bit.
Yeah, as we've heard from Josh there in Greenville.
Yeah, so just go Ellerby in Greenville, 5 beers, 2 shots, and a White Claw.
And we'll hit you with a. All right, we had another call that caught my attention from a very nice young man, Atticus.
Yes.
Remember him from his interning days?
He used to have intern in front of his name.
Didn't really do anything around here, but was great to be around. Nice guy.
Kind of fell in the Briley category of intern.
Yeah, he showed up. He gave us, director of morale type of thing.
He was.
He was funny and a very nice kid.
Yes.
He was fired up, Ellerby. And not only is he fired up about the win over South Florida, he's got some advice for all Pirate fans regarding this Saturday. Let's hear what Atticus said, Shirley.
You need to get with every single financial advisor that you have within the next week, and you need to take out every single loan that you can possibly take, every dollar you can take out of the bank, and you need to put it every single penny that you own on the Pirates against the Naval Academy next week. Because I tell you what, Mike Houston has the boys rolling, and we are going into Daddy Ficklin Stadium next week, and we are steamrolling the Naval Academy, and we're going to win free money, and that's a guarantee from Prada G.
Atticus was feeling himself Saturday night, Ellerby. He is not scared of Navy coming to town. Take the Pirates plus the points on Saturday.
I think when you get into a fifth, you think you're the fifth horseman. Because he
cut a promo there.
Yeah, I mean, it was very wrestling-like and almost very like Saturday morning, old school days when the gambling guys would be on.
Yes.
My lock of the year.
Call me now, 900-444.
And then the next week, my lock of the year. What was last week?
Last week was the year. This is the lock of the century.
Yes. So
Pirates plus 3.
Atticus doing work, I believe, in the Charlotte area now. So
that he is.
Sounds like he's going to be mansion shopping on Sunday.
Yeah, be living in I don't know,
South Park or
Matt Rule's neighborhood.
Yeah, Lake Norman. Look out, Atticus is coming for you.
He put everything he owned on the Pirates.
Jimmy Johnson's house. Better put it for sale out there in Lake Norman. He's coming for it.
But that is the kind of fun we have, Ellerby, after a win on the 5th quarter, and it was awesome to have that again.
Look, I enjoyed it. It was a lot. It was fun. It was entertaining. And as you know, it could have gone in a different direction if the score would have been reversed the other way. So this week is going to be tough. And I think, I am excited to hear in hour 3, Jon Gilbert to talk about the logistics of the fans being at the game this Saturday, how many students are going to be there. And because you did see over the weekend, Florida got upset at Texas A&M, and they obviously, I think, had about 25,000 at Kyle Field, but Dan Mullen said that had a big effect on how Florida was able to not win, I guess, in a way that they had a lot of fans screaming behind their bench. So maybe seeing a few fans in the stands in Dowdy Ficklin Stadium will be motivating to when the team runs out, and then hopefully down the road, maybe in November, maybe some more fans can get in there. So and look, they're playing with some momentum right now. I think they did a lot of good things on Saturday that hopefully they can build on. And it would be monumental, obviously, to get 2 wins in a row for this Pirate football program against 2 conference teams.
And we'll be ready to roll Saturday, 8 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. This is a great week for sports because you have a football game scheduled every single night of the week, including a Tuesday nighter, Bills Titans, that is on as of right now, and we'll have it for you on Pirate Radio. Lafayette and Coastal Carolina is a fun game. Louisiana and Coastal Carolina on Wednesday night. A couple games Thursday. and then Friday as well. And but we're living in these times, and surely not to steal your thunder, but I do see a news nugget here from Brett McMurphy that just came out a minute ago. Saturday's Vanderbilt at Missouri game has been postponed because of COVID issues at Vanderbilt. Vandy only had 56 scholarship players last week versus South Carolina, so there's an SEC game out. As long as it's not Bama and Georgia, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, that's being built up as a really big game, and let's not forget about some Major League Baseball that's going on this week.
Well, it'll be the Braves playing the Dodgers tonight in Game 1 of the NLCS.
Yes. Were you old enough to remember when they were in the same division?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Braves had to beat the Dodgers quite a bit. And there was some good Padres teams.
Yes.
But yeah, I remember the NL West because the Braves would have those 7:05, 7:35 home games, but they'd have so many 10:35 first pitches out on the West Coast back when I was a kid.
Yes, looking forward to maybe the Bravos upsetting the Dodgers. That'll be fun.
That's a tall task.
A lot of good sports hitting in the month of October right now.
Yeah, and NBA is over, and I really enjoyed the playoffs, but I didn't watch hardly any of the finals, and it's football season, and I enjoyed when we were having those like afternoon playoff games in the bubble. I'd watch them here. It was a lot of fun. But once football season rolled around and we got back to our Saturday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday football schedule, the NBA definitely took a back seat for me personally. I think for a lot of folks. And I don't know, baseball, a little bit of the same way, but I'll be watching Astros Rays here in about an hour, Ellerby, inside the studio, and watching some Braves Dodgers tonight.
Yeah, I feel like the NHL and the NBA got lost a little bit if you weren't in a city that has a team. I think baseball, I mean, this is just my personal, because I'm more of a baseball guy, stands a little bit more of a chance, because I think most of their games aren't going to be positioned on like Sunday night football versus NBA finals. That's just a lose for anybody. I mean, I think that baseball was smart, obviously, however they scheduled to get their games during the week. And as you said, the afternoon games always help build some momentum too of getting people interested in the games.
And this is the natural time of year for baseball playoffs.
Sure.
So yes. You're kind of used to it being part of your sports schedule. It's hard to program the brain to watch a Sunday night basketball game while the Seahawks and Vikings are playing. Like I just can't do it.
It's usually right now. I mean, the NBA and NHL is usually like doing preseason stuff in October, and it's because they've been done since June for the most part. So anyway, lots of sports to follow, and we'll have a lot of the NFL action right here on Pirate Radio.
And Mike says crazy the NBA pulled off the bubble without a hitch, and I agree. Kudos to the NBA, the NHL. UFC, NASCAR, all those sports that got us through the sports hiatus. I'm forever grateful.
Where are we with NASCAR right now? Are they still going?
In the playoffs, there's still a few races left. Yeah.
Who's going to win the NASCAR championship? Do we know?
Harvick or Hamlin? Chase Elliott, nice win yesterday at the Charlotte Roval. So a win for Clip Brock Motorsports yesterday. I was excited about that.
Congratulations. How are you feeling about Navy, Clip? Your initial thoughts?
If I had to pick, I would take Navy. But I mean, I'm very, very, very pleased with what we saw offensively from the Pirates the other night. And Navy doesn't have a great defense. One of the issues is, we've given up a lot of points to Navy, but when you go 3 and out, and your defense just gets grinded on when Navy keeps running it for 6 yards a pop, you just can't keep up. You can't win that way. We're going to give up points. We're going to give up rushing yards, just like last year. Going into this game this year, this is on the offense. The offense is going to have to keep up, have long drives, run the ball like they did with Rajee Harris, who was amazing on Saturday night. So again, I'm kind of putting this one on the offense. You got to prepare to give up 30-plus points to Navy. We've seen it. You got the scores there. I ran over them earlier. So your offense is going to have to keep up this week. I'm not going in expect. How many points do you expect Navy to score on Saturday?
Yeah, I would give them at least 35.
I'm with you. and we're going to have to outscore them 38-30. What was the score of the Dominique Davis game, the win? Wasn't it 38-35, something like that? Yeah,
that's correct.
So that could be a similar winning score if the Pirates are going to win this week.
That's actually the lowest total Navy ever scored against East Carolina was in 2006, the first game, which was a 28-23 win.
Skip almost beat them there.
Yeah,
that was game one of the year.
That was the Skip Holtz deal. But, every other year, if you look at the 7 games, Navy, by average, has outscored East Carolina 49 points per game to 26 points per game. So it's definitely been lopsided. Now, obviously, you have the games where they've scored 76 and 66 in the 76 game. I've never experienced anything like that since I watched maybe some of my buddies play high school football and just get run up and down the field without being touched. But
Alexander Teach, I believe, was the fullback's name, who just kept running straight up the middle, and nobody was around him.
But they don't have Malcolm Perry, and he was a very special quarterback at Navy.
They don't have Keenan Reynolds. They don't have that great playmaking QB.
Yeah, I mean, so I think they have some inexperience at how to run this offense, although they are 4 games deep into it. And, Navy's just a disciplined school. And I do think the Pirate offense is the proponent that, hey, look, if they can start piling up some points, I think that kind of fed the defense some this past weekend. And we could see a similar result happening coming up this Saturday. Except this time they'll be at Dowdy-Ficklin.
They will coming up this Saturday, which ECU has never beaten Navy at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. The one win came on the road in Annapolis. This Saturday on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, Jeff Charles will catch up with Ken Niumatalolo, who is very intense on game day. But his interviews with Jeff, he talks to him every year. Ken, he's a great guy. Talks to Jeff and. Hey, Jeff, thanks for having me.
It's like a fireside chat.
It's very soft-spoken when he talks on the radio to Jeff Charles.
Yes, I would too.
My team's going to be very prepared, Jeff.
Oh, how about when you have Jeff on Wednesday, you talk like you're Ken Niumatalolo.
Okay. Hey, Jeff, thank you for having me again, Jeff.
What do you think of the game?
It's going to be a great game, Jeff.
And then we can work in some Josh grunts. As you do.
That's a good game, Jeff. Oh, man.
I want Josh to call back in either during this week or definitely on Saturday and explain what was going on.
Maybe the hiccups, perhaps, when you have a few beers, that happens. I don't know.
Should we use the Josh grunt as if you reach if you've had over a 6-pack or 6 drinks, you get the Josh grunt. Yeah.
Scott called in the other night, and our guy from Maryland, our Maryland representative, Ellerby, said Navy back and forth with Temple until the last play. I was not watching the game. I was following it. I believe Temple scored late and did not get a 2-point conversion. Navy able to knock off Temple. That's a good win for them. That was Temple's first game. But that was a good win for Navy there on Saturday. Again, 2-0 coming into this game against ECU in league play.
Yes, the midshipmen come to town as a 3-point favorite, and I did this point spread thing too, and it just it's never that close.
I know. What do they not? You would think Vegas would, after a while, look at the history of this series. I know there's different players, but when it happens every single time, you would think they would be a little more than a 2-point favorite right now. People are on the Pirates. Atticus must have already placed his bet, Ellerby, because it started at 3, right? Navy by 3. I saw it today at 2.
Yeah.
So I guess Atticus and all of his Millionaires Club have already put the money down on the Pirates.
Well, they probably heard him on the 5th quarter and immediately took their private jets to Vegas and their line movers. It was crazy the year East Carolina won. The Pirates were plus 12. And what's even crazier is the year East Carolina lost 76-35. ECU was a 3-point
favorite.
They were a 3-point favorite. Can you imagine having Navy plus 3 on a day like that? I mean, wow.
I wonder, I'm sure there's bigger lopsided victories, but in the history of spreads, so ECU was a 3-point favorite. They lost that game by how much? 40-something?
Yes.
Yeah.
41 points.
The difference between a spread and an outcome, are there any that are that, bigger than that in history? There probably are, but that was a shocker that day at Dowdy-Ficklin.
But there was no crazy injury or anything. The quarterback didn't go out in the first quarter. I mean, it wasn't anything bizarre other than Navy just pounded East Carolina for 4 quarters. And it was just nuts.
Can we stop the option? That is the question. We will find out on Saturday when the midshipmen roll into town. Ellerby, enjoyed it, man?
Keep up the good work all week. A lot of fun stuff to talk about.
These Victory Mondays, a lot more.
Victory Monday. Let's have a good thought of what Victory Monday is going to look like when the Pirates are back at 2-2.
Clippers!
Thank you, Atticus. I'm excited. It's excitement time.
Excitement time.
Well done,
We're having
Charlie.
a freaking game.
They're having a freaking game against Navy.
I like the Clipper.
Clipper! All right. I'm excited, Ellerby. Excitement time.
Excitement time.
And you're right. 2-2 overall, 2-1 in league play. That would look good on the resume.
And then if we can get our money wired to Atticus, we might not be sitting here on Victory Monday. We might be at a pool somewhere just hanging out.
Just poolside.
Or Lake Norman Mansion with Atticus.
Counting the cash. That was nice.
Just throwing money at people.
Hey,
partying with Josh.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, Josh. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Double B, how's he feeling after his Cowboys win, but his quarterback goes down? Brutal injury for Dak Prescott on Sunday. We'll talk about that. We'll get Bailey's thoughts on the Pirates, recap his conversation with Byron Thweet from earlier today on the Brian Bailey Show. If you missed it, that's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock right here on Pirate Radio. A lot to talk about with Double B when we return after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 Buick Enclave and save over $9,500 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey guys, are you tired of tagging along with your wife or your girlfriend when you need a pedicure or manicure? Do you feel intimidated being the only guy in a female nail salon? If so, then I have the solution for you. The Man Cave is now open. I'm Amanda and I've opened the Man Cave to give men a spot just for them and for their grooming needs. Come relax in our comfortable masculine atmosphere and enjoy some free drinks and snacks during your nail service. The Man Cave, next to Lighting by Design on Fire Tower Road in Greenville.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get $500 off the latest phones. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port, and credit approval. Qualified smartphone purchase and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Register for Army ROTC to be a leader and an officer in the U.S. Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard. You could also be eligible for a full tuition scholarship. Lead the team that makes a difference. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson, DAL, at ECU.edu. Paid for by the United States Army.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. It's easy to see mosquitoes and fire ants, but don't forget about moisture and termites destroying your home from underneath. Visit the professionals at Pest Tech online at pesttechofgreenville.com for all of your pest control needs. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Alrighty. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Welcome back into the program. We got Shirley working hard today. Like, Alvin, Jim Rome's producer, just playing cuts and stuff.
Yeah, it's been busy.
Yeah.
Excitement time! Oh, excitement time!
Excitement time! And got a couple of cuts to play for our next guest who joins us on the Fix NC Live line. It was a double winning weekend for one Brian Bailey. He saw the Pirates win on Saturday, Shirley.
Oh, wait, hold on.
That was almost smooth. And he saw his Cowboys win on Sunday.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! And by the way, Bailey, welcome to the show. Mike Houston, unfortunately, is a Cowboys fan, right? So he hit the "How about them Pirates" sounding like Jimmy Johnson there.
He is a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
He certainly is.
It sounded good. Hit it one more time, Shirley.
How about them Pirates?
How about them Pirates? I like it. Good stuff.
I hope we can hear that a couple more times this year, maybe several.
You ain't lying. That was fun on Saturday. Bailey getting that win and being able to run the football like Mike Houston wants to do here with his teams at East Carolina. And we might have a gym with Rajee Harris, that freshman running back. Looks the part. And, man, I'd still like to see the stats on his yards after contact, Bailey. He was taking tacklers with him, and it was fun to watch on Saturday.
Man, he was fun to watch, and he looks the part, man. He's a big, strong kid, and to think this time last year he was running over high school football players all over, but man, he really looked good in that game, and I was just amazed at how the offensive line played, because, you know, from one week to the next, they were a lot better. And granted, you know, I think as a fan base, the Pirate fans didn't give Georgia State enough credit. Georgia State was pretty good, even though the name on the jersey said Georgia State. I think if it had been a different name, then maybe people would have taken notice more. But they manhandled East Carolina up front. Georgia State did, but East Carolina in that game against USF, man, they controlled the line of scrimmage, and that's the key.
Yeah, I think Georgia State's pretty good. They're not, you know, they shouldn't be 20 points better than ECU.
Beaters. They look like world beaters against the Pirates.
Exactly, and that's why I was so surprised with what I saw on Saturday night. We looked like a football team, a real physical football team, Bailey, and man, the defense was flying around. They still gave up some big plays, but we got our first sack of the season on Saturday night, followed by another and another and another, and those became contagious. We saw that fumble you were talking about with Byron Thweet earlier today, ball popping up 30 feet in the air, and ECU able to recover. I mean, it was fun to watch a football game involving the team in purple for the first time in a while, Bailey.
Yeah, and that's well said, because it was, and it's the first time they've beaten somebody in the conference besides UConn in a couple of years, and really when you look at what they were able to accomplish in that game, it's a South Florida team that had dominated the series with East Carolina, and granted they're trying to get some things done, and they're not a very good football team right now, but you know, you just got to, at this point, you know, for Coach Houston and this team, they've got to have some success, win some games, have some success, and those guys can feed off of that. And you got a Navy, you know, team coming in as a 3-point favorite. You know, those of us that have seen Navy through the years are thinking like, man, you know, can the Pirates keep it that close? But they've got a game plan. They've been working on it for a long time as far as Navy and that option is concerned. And they've got something that Coach Houston told me today that I was really, interested in is he said that was part of the interview process for the defensive coordinator. How much experience do you have against the option? Because we've got Navy once a year. And that's one of the reasons he went with Blake Harrell. So we'll see if it pays dividends.
Yeah, that is the next test, and it has been a tough test for the Pirates to pass over the years, Bailey. And again, we talked about it with Ellery a moment ago. I expect Navy to score 30-plus points. They always do against ECU. It's what they do. They're going to run the football for a ton of yards. They're going to hit a pass play or two over the top when we're not expecting it. Once again, I'm putting it on the offense, Bailey. They're going to have to keep up this week, and they couldn't do that last year against Navy. But after watching them run the football on Saturday, and Ayler's able to hit some big plays in the passing game, get C.J. Johnson going, I feel a lot better about the offense than I did before Saturday, and I just hope they can keep up because, again, I go into this Navy game expecting Navy to score 30, 35-plus points on Saturday.
Well, I think we've seen Navy come into Dowdy-Ficklin and even on the road and just have such a easy time with the Pirate defense with that option. And I just watched some of the tape of the Temple game, and that fullback was if you don't stop the fullback, you're gonna have a long day. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened with Temple. They gave up a couple of huge runs to that fullback, and that's the same guy that was in that Navy lineup last year. So I think it's gonna be a very entertaining game, and I hope the Pirates have a lot of success on offense and at least slow that option down.
Byron Thweet was on the Brian Bailey Show today at noon, and you guys talked a lot about stopping that option. Bailey, what'd you get from Coach Thweet today regarding the option?
Well, I just think that I got a little tidbit of information from him, little bits from Coach Houston. I talked to him earlier in the day, and it just sounds like that. They really all summer long when they could get together, they were working a little bit on the option a lot of times. I think so. I don't think we're starting the week off and think, okay, now we got to start working on the option. They've worked on it, periodically throughout the off season in the summer. Obviously, the COVID comes into play all the time, so I'm sure they didn't get as much work as they would have liked. But they've got some experience with coaches that have worked with the option on that staff, and it'll be interesting to see if they can slow it down. Because we've talked about this before. It's mind-boggling to me, and I think to you as well, that sometimes you'll be watching a game and some team that doesn't play very good defense will just bottle up the option.
Yeah.
And we're like, what happened to Navy today? Whether they didn't execute on that day or whether the defense was just dominant. But sometimes, that Navy option gets spoiled a little bit. And, I haven't seen East Carolina do it yet, but hopefully that's coming up this week.
It's frustrating, Bailey, when they play Tulsa and Tulane and they'll score like 24 points, instead of 66 or 76. We're due for one of those. And Coach Thweet said today they have worked on it a whole lot. They've talked about it. It's all they'll be doing, obviously, this week, but hopefully they'll be ready to go for the midshipmen coming up on Saturday. The line's already gone down. It was Navy by 3. Now I saw Navy -2 earlier today, Bailey. So some people out there thinking the Pirates can win.
To me.
Yeah, me too. It's shocking me too. All right, fun day of college football on Saturday. Really looking forward to this Saturday. Double B. We'll talk to you at 9 a.m. on the Bud Light pregame tailgate in that hour, and we'll have the fifth quarter that afternoon going into the evening, and then 8 o'clock, and I believe this one's on CBS, right? Alabama and Georgia coming up this Saturday?
Yeah, how about that matchup, man? That's just going to be, that's like a, not an elimination game per se, but it could be an elimination game as far as the college football playoff is concerned. And when you think back to August when we were all sitting around wondering if we were going to have any college football at all, and now to get a matchup like that, that's going to be fun.
I'm with you. And speaking of not being able to stop anybody, all of a sudden Alabama's defense can't stop anybody. Ole Miss put a ton of points on them the other night.
They did. That was a crazy game. I mean, that kept going back and forth, and you got to think Lane Kiffin might have something for some of those boys in the SEC. But it's funny, some of these college football playoff teams year in and year out, like Alabama, can't play defense. Oklahoma can't play defense. It's really baffling that nobody can play some defense.
Yeah, and I was kind of talking to Rick Smith about this topic the other day, just how everything is so catered to offenses now, and he talked about how his goals as a coordinator back in the day, Bailey, was to allow less than 100 yards rushing and less than 200 yards passing, and he says, if I go to a locker room today and say I expect y'all to give up less than 200 yards passing, they would laugh him out of the building because everybody's throwing for at least 300 a game now, and you just don't want to give up 350, 400 a week.
And maybe you're trying to hold them under 300 passing and under 150 rushing.
Yeah,
and that doesn't sound like great numbers, but I mean the way things are going, and obviously the number one stat as far as defense is concerned is points given up. But teams are just scoring points left and right, and it's kind of crazy.
Brian Bailey, what was your feeling as a Cowboys fan? You watch every team in the division lose. You watch your team win in a thriller over the New York Giants, but you lose your quarterback, Dak Prescott, a brutal injury for Dak on Sunday. So what's the feeling after that? Are you happy about the win and moving forward? You're in a bad division, you can win it, or is it like, without Dak, can Andy Dalton win us a championship? What's your take on it?
Well, the way I look at it is this. It's first of all, I was sick to see the injury, and I mean, I literally had to walk out. I was at Tiebreakers watching the game. I had to walk out and just, because I felt so. I know, some of the things and reading what he's gone through, and him trying to get the contract. Didn't get the contract, but he got $31.5 million, I think, for the franchise tag. But I like Dak. I think he turns the ball over too much. I was hoping that he would kind of get that thing corrected, but he hadn't. But with that said, I would be sicker for the Cowboys if this was one of those years where they had a really good defense and they were scoring points like crazy, but they're not a championship quality team. Now they could win the NFC East. I think any of those four, including the Giants, if the Giants could turn things around on offense, and if they could play the Cowboys every week, they could put some points on the board. But really, they still got a chance to win the East, but they're not going to do anything further than that. But it's just, you see an injury like that, and that's one of the brutal realities of the game. Now, I will give them credit. Signing Andy Dalton, when a lot of people, when they signed him, they were like, well, what are you doing that for? Is it a two-horse race at quarterback? What's happening? But it's proven to be very, very smart because you got a guy now who can go in there and he's not just a serviceable quarterback. He's 9-year veteran. He's not that old, and he can play. He's a really good quarterback. So I don't think the offense is going to be. It's going to miss some, obviously, without Dak because you don't have that run pass option sometimes that you need. But I think if they go back to giving the ball to Zeke, the problem is the offensive line is not what it was, and with those injuries and the guys they're missing. They just don't have, a championship quality team, and then certainly not a championship quality team on defense.
Talking to Double B, Brian Bailey here on the on Pirate Radio Live. And Bailey, you're right. It was kind of an afterthought with Dalton going to Dallas, and I didn't talk much about it on the air. The only time I remember it was when we had Dan Horde on, who was the play-by-play voice of the Cincinnati Bearcats and the Cincinnati Bengals. And at the end of the Bearcats interview, I asked him about it and said how weird it is going to be to see Dalton in a Dallas jersey, and we're going to have to get used to it now because he's the guy moving forward. And I tell you what, Bailey, you watch football around the league, especially my team, there's a lot worse options at quarterback for your team than Andy Dalton. I can tell you that.
You're right, and I think they're very, very fortunate to have that because I think he gives you a chance to win. And again, they're not a Super Bowl quality team because of that defense. They've got some of the best receivers, in the league. I mean, I'm really, and a lot of the talk on the Dallas radio waves last week was, hey, the defense is so bad. Should the Cowboys have not drafted CeeDee Lamb and gone after a defensive player? And I think, no, you did the right thing. You had CeeDee Lamb in your lap. You had to take him, and he's really, really talented, really good.
Those receivers can make even bad quarterbacks look pretty good, so you got an advantage there for sure. Bailey had a victory Sunday and is into Victory Monday. How about Chandler rocking the Luke Kuechly jersey and ECU hat combo today? Bailey, the Carolina Panthers have won 3 in a row. They got the Bears at home this weekend. Teddy Bridgewater, Mike Davis, that offense, Robbie Anderson looking good. They're playing some defense. At what point do you take these Panthers seriously in 2020?
I think you wait until they hit up with the Bucks again, the Saints, and you see how that plays out. I still think both of those teams are probably better than Carolina, but I've been shocked to see. I didn't think that. I thought Atlanta was so overdue for a win, and I thought, okay, this is when Atlanta gets their victory. And Carolina was good. I mean, they're very solid. Matt Rule's proven to be a good hire. I really wasn't sure when he was hired. I've told you this before too. I had a chance to meet him a couple of times at the American Media Days up in Newport. He was the head coach at Temple, really nice guy. But man, he skyrocketed to Temple to Baylor to the NFL. But maybe he's figured it out, and they've really overcome a devastating injury of their own. It wasn't a year-ending injury, but still an injury that could cripple your offense, and it hasn't.
Yeah, and you never know, Bailey, when you look at these coaches and talk to them, right? I mean, I remember you talking about Charlie Strong and how much you like him, what a nice guy he was, and he was a big deal years ago. What, Louisville and Texas, and he goes to South Florida, and the thing bottoms out. And you'd have probably told me, and I would have told people too, man, that's a good hire for South Florida. And then Matt Rule. Well, who's Matt Rule? I don't know Matt Rule. You never know how these things are going to work out, do you?
You really don't. And for the fact that they've been able to overcome that injury to McCaffrey, that's big for them. And if they get him back, it'll be that much better.
Maybe. I've been asking Chandler, are the Panthers better without Christian McCaffrey? They're 3-0 without him, 0-2 with him, Bailey. Just think about that. I know, obviously, that's stupid, but I bring it up every week to piss off Chandler. Bailey, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. I know your Cubbies are out. My Braves got the Dodgers tonight, so me and Meador will be talking some junk. Are you? Is baseball on your radar at all right now?
Yeah, it always is this time of year. When the playoffs start, I always try to keep up with it a little bit better, even if the Cubs are out. And I'm looking forward to both this year. I watched a little bit of the game last night, and looking forward to both of the NLCS and the ALCS. And I especially like the afternoon baseball. When I was a kid, that was a thing that every year in the World Series. And I got introduced to gambling, by the way, and I don't think many people ever even, they don't do this anymore, I don't think. But my dad worked at the Ford plant, and for World Series games, they would put every half inning in a hat. So you got the top of the first, bottom of the first, top of the second, bottom of the second, and you would draw out your half inning. You put $10 into the pot, or $20 or whatever. You draw your half inning, and if the most runs were scored in your half inning, you won the pot. I can remember begging him to get me a half an inning so I can keep on playing.
I've never heard of that. It's kind of like squares for football.
Yeah, and it really wasn't gambling for me because I didn't have any money in it. But Dad would put $10 in and give me one of the half innings, and then I think he did let me have the money. If we won it a couple of times, that was fun.
Yeah, wake me up when it's the bottom of the fifth. I'm ready for that.
That's right.
Yeah, one half
inning. Rocked in.
All right, Bailey. Byron Thweet coming up. If you missed it at noon, you can check it out at 6:00. What did you and Coach Thweet go over today on the show?
Pretty much everything. I mean, we went over all of his players in his room, and we learned a little bit about the different the two defensive ends. One on the one side, one on the other side. What their responsibilities are. We talked a lot about Navy in the back half hour of the show. Just how do you stop the option? What are some of the responsibilities? How do you tell the kids? A program like East Carolina that hasn't had a lot of success stopping the option. So a whole lot of stuff about Navy in that back half hour.
Good stuff, Double B. Thanks for joining us, man. We will see you Saturday in the 9:00 hour on the Bud Light pregame tailgate.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
All right, there he is, Double B, Brian Bailey, joining us on the Fixed NC live line. Guest update, and I just saw he got back up with me. This is cool. So I was looking at Navy and just kind of behind the scenes inside baseball. I go through the opposing team's staff directory, find their media relations person, and request interviews. And while I was looking at their staff directory, I saw that their Navy's director of football operations is Brian Blick. And I remember calling his games when he was a quarterback at J.H. Rose right here on Pirate Radio back in the day. And, of course, he went to Navy, and now he is the director of football operations. And got up with him, and we're going to have Brian Blick. Folks in the community definitely remember that name or know that last name, and we're going to talk to him here on the show one day this week. So looking forward to catching up with Brian Blick. That'll be cool. Greenville native, of course, played high school football here, and now director of ops at Navy. We'll get a scouting report on the midshipmen as well with Brian Blick. Right now, we'll take a timeout, come back, wrap up hour number 1 of Pirate Radio Live. More to go after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative Jon Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the Jon Bell Committee.
Hidden phone trade-ins, hidden plan requirements, hidden catches. You won't find them at US Cellular because we speak fair. Plus, when you switch right now, you can get $500 off the latest phones. Upgrade to fair. Upgrade to US Cellular. Requires new postpaid service plan, new line port in, credit approval, qualified smartphone purchase, and comes via monthly bill credit on a 30-month RIC. Taxes, fees, and additional terms apply.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
In studio today with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. How can you help people with back pain?
Well, you know, most people are going to have back pain at some point during their life, but you don't have to live with it. A bad MRI or a bad x-ray does not mean you're destined to always have pain. We have specialists that are well trained to find out what the true problem is and the true source of your pain so they can get you on track to feeling better. So don't suffer with back pain. Our nationally board certified specialists are here to help you. To learn more, visit us at kptonline.com. We can help you live well, move more, and hurt less.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Discombobulated is the word. We'll have some thoughts right after this.
Hi, this is Luke Kuechly. Last season, I was captain on defense. This season, since so many of us will be watching football from home, I'm football watching with Pepsi. And you know me, I pour everything I've got into it. All right, football watchers, let's do this. Opening click-offs. Here we go. Click on, click off. Click on, click off. Stretch that thumb. You can't have finger fatigue bringing you down in the postseason. Nice job. And my favorite, second half sip-offs. Pepsi's up, lift, pull, open. Ice cold Pepsi and watching football. Nothing better.
It's not game day without a delicious, refreshing Pepsi, the official soft drink of the National Football League. Head to your nearest retailer, grab your Pepsi before kickoff, then sit back, relax, and cheer on your favorite team. Pepsi, made for football watching.
If you're like me, the sports calendar is totally screwed up. It's October, and I keep thinking the Hurricanes and the Hornets are in preseason camp getting ready for another season. No, wait. The hockey season just ended in late September, and the NBA Finals are going on in October. And then baseball. How tough is it to follow with 16 teams in the playoffs? It has been a glut of games. Football, as we know, is week to week. Some of these college teams and leagues did not start until October. Some of the FCS leagues, for example, are just trying to scrape together 3 or 4 games to play this year. Coaches are creatures of habit, and all of this is driving them crazy. But they have no choice. Every day is a new adventure. And I adopted the philosophy a long time ago, you just do the best you can. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
This is Billy Weaver from WITN. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
PRL this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley, we got some baseball. Bailey was talking about some afternoon baseball. We got some coming up. In about 10 minutes. I need to get over to the Superstation, TBS, as the Astros and Rays will play Game 2. Tampa up 1-0 in that series.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but let's go Rays.
I'm with you. Go Rays. Braves and Dodgers tonight. 8:08 on Fox. I think they're allowing fans in this. I got to be honest. I did not watch any baseball last night. I had the TV on football. I had basketball on my computer, which I barely watched because it was a blowout as LeBron and the Lakers win a championship in the bubble. That was an obvious, dumb dad joke that I can't believe I didn't think of. So somebody else had it on Twitter. I retweeted it. This year, after the NBA Finals, somebody will scream in celebration, "I'm leaving Disney World." That's a good, dumb joke, right? Chandler looked at me like stone-faced. Like, that is not funny at all.
Instead of going to Disney World, you're leaving Disney World.
That's the joke. And again, it's not
just in case anyone didn't get that.
Not a knee slapper. Just a quick one-off.
It is what it is.
I'm going to use it on Troy D in hour 3 and see if he likes it. He might enjoy it. I don't know. All right. We got to take another break because we are behind a break for this hour. But when we return, we will talk to the BMOC, the big man on campus from Barstool Sports. He had the Pirates on Saturday night. I think he had a good NFL Sunday as well. So we'll recap the weekend and look ahead. He already has a play-in for ECU Navy coming up on Saturday. We'll talk about that and more with Jeff Nadu when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Your CBD store in Greenville has the highest quality CBD products in the country. Your CBD store is the first and only brand that carries USDA certified organic products such as gummies, honey sticks, and high absorption water soluble liquids, which are all made in the United States. They even offer products for your pet. The educated staff will help you answer any questions, and you can stop in anytime to get a free sample. Your CBD store, locally owned and operated, open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, right beside Duck Donuts in Greenville.
Hey Pirate fans, the Papa John's menu has grown again with the all-new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. The papadillas are part sandwich, part pizza, and are only $6. Choose from the all-new grilled buffalo chicken, Philly cheesesteak, Italian, pepperoni meatball, and barbecue chicken and bacon, all for only $6 each. Also for a limited time, get any large 5-topping pizza for only $13.99. Place your order today online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Love Jersey Mike's subs? Love them times 12 with our new catering box. Packed full of a dozen individually wrapped subs. They're yours for the sharing. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
It's Jersey Mike's time. One Club Supreme? Check. What's Aaron's Way? Only $2.99 for Pepsi and Lay's? I'm in. Order your sub Aaron's Way on the Jersey Mike's app or visit a Jersey Mike's store.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Got big dreams for your small business? You're not alone. The Gavigan Agency Insurance Services is a growing business too. That's why they work with Nationwide, the #1 small total business insurer in the U.S. Nationwide can help protect and grow your business so you can focus on making your small business dreams come true. Give the Gavigan Agency Insurance Services a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
Hi, this is Billy Parker, and football is here. Tailgate at home with family and friends this season and let Parker's Barbecue do all the cooking. While tailgating at your house, let us provide all the food with our delicious chicken, barbecue, seafood, and sides. We can customize packages for any size group, big or small. Give us a call today and place your order. Parker's and football, a winning combination. Also shipping nationwide at parkersbbq.com. Parker's Barbecue is how friends and family come together.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Greenville Utilities Neighbor to Neighbor program provides help for those who need temporary assistance with their utility costs. You can make a difference. Your tax-deductible donation can be added to your GUC bill each month, or you can make a one-time donation, and GUC matches all donations up to $20,000 each year. Consider helping a neighbor with GUC's Neighbor to Neighbor program. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Charlie Morton warming up for the Rays. They're about to get underway with their game against the Astros, Game 2 of the ALCS. Frenchie, Jeff Francoeur, former Brave, on the call on TBS. Shirley, I'm sorry I left you out of Victory Monday.
My Dolphins actually played a game, and decently. They didn't suck.
Telling you off the air that I've been trying to tell people they're frisky. Now, I didn't know they'd go out and roll up, how many points was it? 40 whatever?
Yeah, it was in the 40s.
Against the 49ers. Yeah. But that was a good win for Miami there on Sunday.
You know, a W is a W. You know, what did Skip used to say? It may be an ugly baby, but it's our baby. Yeah, that's pretty much how the Dolphins are. You know, even though the 49ers were not at 100%, they've been decimated by injuries. Yeah. Garoppolo, even though he returned from an ankle injury, did not look like himself. He was basically throwing flat-footed, wasn't putting anything on the ball. I'll take the W anyway.
Take it.
Because there's so few and far between for the Dolphins. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I guess Washington's not pregnant at the moment. No babies coming out of that canal. All right. Wow. Let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line now and talk about the weekend and look at the weekend and week ahead, because there's a ton of games this week, football, baseball, and in between. Let's talk to the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, who joins us on the Fixed NC Live line from Barstool Sports. Jeff, how you doing today?
I'm very good, Clip. How are you?
Doing great. A Victory Monday, finally, for East Carolina, and we have enjoyed it over the weekend. And, Jeff, we talked to you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate Saturday night around 6 o'clock, and you said this is a winnable game for ECU. Forget about the points. Just take the Pirates' money line and sit back and enjoy. And sure enough, Pirates get the win the other night. And once again, Jeff, you know what you're talking about, it appears, when it comes to ECU football.
Yeah, I've always had a good run with them ever since I've come on your show. I mean, look, South Florida sucks, and, you know, it's one of those games where whenever you see those kind of games where there's two bad teams playing each other, instead of playing points, if you like the dog and think they can win, just take the money line. I mean, it's a way better price, and you can feel confident and happy when you win, because it's not only did you win, you get a nice plus money back. But, yeah, you know, look, they were terrific, got into the 40s. And look, I think that's what they're capable of. That offense is really good. You know, and South Florida's, I mean, they're not a terrible defensive team. That's an impressive job by ECU. Gives them some confidence. Now they get a home game at the Naval Academy.
Jeff, I went over it earlier today, the spreads of these games against Navy, and they have all been pretty narrow spreads, and Navy has really taken it to the Pirates over the years. Also, these past scores have been very high scoring, especially on the Navy side, and then ECU getting their points as well. And I guess that's something you took note of. You've already got a pick in for this ECU Navy game this weekend, right?
Yeah, I played the over 61. I saw 60.5 last night, and I didn't think it would really move, so I ended up grabbing 61 this morning. And look, you mentioned the pass scores. I believe last year was 42-10 Navy. Keep in mind, different Navy teams, so you're not gonna have as dynamic as a team. But this is still a very good offensive team. Dallin Morris is a quarterback that's quickly come in and performed well for them. One thing I love about Navy this year with Ivan Jasper, an offensive coordinator, Morris gives them a different wrinkle. He can throw the ball, and over the last year or two, they've been a lot more adept at throwing the ball down the football field. So, you look at that rush attack, they've not only been good there, but they can add that wrinkle in now as well. And you look at last year, they were very good defensively. They're not so good this year. They've really struggled to get stops. They were better this weekend, but they're playing a team that hadn't played, and they got some inopportune turnovers. But when you look at Navy defensively, they're going to, I think, be without Diego Fago, who is their best linebacker. He's one of the best linebackers in the country.
Yeah.
So this is a defense that's had trouble. They had trouble tackling. I think this is a game that kind of gets into the mid-30s, maybe high 30s for Navy. I think that ECU is definitely a team that can get into the high 20s, maybe even into the 30s. Maybe, 38-28 type of game, 38-31, something like that.
Big Man on campus, Jeff Nadu joining us, and actually, I see that the number has dropped from 3 to 2 in favor of the midshipmen. A couple of smaller spreads, Jeff, that caught my eye this week. So BYU is playing Houston, and you could, I guess, say this is BYU's first challenge. They did not set the world on fire this past weekend. Maybe that's why that number's a little lower. Houston coming off their first win in their first game against Tulane. But BYU's a 3.5-point favorite there. Another one in the AAC is Cincinnati and Tulsa, and the Bearcats just a 3-point favorite against Tulsa. Now, we saw the Golden Hurricane knock off UCF, so that might explain that line a little bit. But I don't know, I don't know what side I like on these. They just both kind of caught my eye. Some low spreads where you would think going into the season and without knowing anything, BYU would be a pretty decent favorite against Houston, and also Cincinnati against Tulsa. Any thoughts on those games?
Yeah, I mean, not only did Tulsa beat UCF as a huge underdog, like a 25-point underdog in that game, they also almost beat Oklahoma State, who is a good Big 12 team.
Right.
So
yeah.
They've been undervalued this year. That kind of screams low scoring to me there. Two teams that I don't love the quarterback play for either group. Two pretty good defenses. I don't think the pace is going to be there. But the other game you mentioned, this is interesting because Houston was unbelievable the other night offensively against the Tulane Green Wave. But this is a different animal. I mean, you got to wonder, Houston hasn't played much. This isn't Tulane defensively. This is a really good defensive group that can score. But BYU, I thought, was a little exploited the other night against the UTSA Roadrunners. That was kind of a weird game. They were able to find a way to win, but I get a feeling Houston's going to run into just a really good defensive team, and these two teams aren't on the same field on that side of the ball. I give the lean to BYU, but did UTSA kind of figure something out with them?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never love Holgorsen defenses, so I like BYU in that game.
Jeff, before we move on to the NFL, anything you've seen today or yesterday when the lines came out that you like for college football? By the way, we've got football every night of the week, so there's a scheduled NFL game for Tuesday, which we'll have here for you on Pirate Radio, Titans-Bills, and then Wednesday, I think it's a pretty good game, right? Coastal and App State, Coastal and Louisiana is Wednesday. Then you got a couple games Thursday, and then this weekend. Anything stand out to you for this college football week?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting week. You got a big one with Georgia and Alabama. Look, I'm betting Alabama overs until further notice. I mean, it's been pretty clear over the last couple of seasons, Clip, that even the last year or two, this secondary is not good. I mean, they weren't good last year. I don't think they're very good this year. And Georgia is a group that look, they're good defensively, we know that, but Alabama could score against everybody. And, again, they usually dictate the tempo, Alabama. So I'm going to look at maybe getting some value there on an over that probably is still kind of acting like Alabama's really good defensively, and they have, C.J. Mosley and guys like that. They don't necessarily have those types of players anymore, or at least right now. Couple other games I have my eye on. I think Ole Miss, they're historically bad on the defensive side of the football. I mean, I'm not sure I've ever seen a defense that inept over the last 3 games, but the bookmakers have caught up completely with them. You have a 76.5 point total this week. Now, look, that still might be too low. Books can only go so high with totals. But you're not exactly playing a potent offense in Arkansas. If you're Arkansas, you have to do the same thing you did against Washington or against Mississippi State. Run the football effectively, keep the ball out of Ole Miss's hands, and extend drives. I will be all over the under in this game, and I expect it to go even higher. I expect we see a 77.5, maybe a 78. The whole world's going to be on the over here because it's Ole Miss. Arkansas has the tonic to keep this low scoring.
Jeff Nadu joining us. I did something yesterday, Jeff, and you know what? I think I've seen you throw one of these out a time or two, but this is a simple move that people make like myself. The old teaser, and the Arizona and Rams teaser yesterday was just too attractive for me to pass up, so I win it and I got it. Now I don't win a lot of these because they never work out the way you want them to, but that one was pretty simple yesterday. Jeff, how about you? How was your NFL Sunday?
I did really well. I was 3-0. I gave out one of them to the public. I had the Cleveland Browns, which is my favorite play of the week. But your teaser, look, I don't mind teasers in the NFL. When you're taking sides from, let's say, 7.5 to 1.5, or 8 to 2, or conceivable numbers, I don't mind them. That was a good call by you. But yeah, I had that one. I also had the over with Dallas and the Giants. Look, Clip, right now the Dallas Cowboys are college-level bad defensively. Clip, there are 75 teams that are currently playing in college football. 15 have given up 36 points or more. The Dallas Cowboys have given up 36 or more. So there are 60 teams in college football that have been better defensively, statistically, than Dallas. They're on a historically bad run right now defensively. I also had the Minnesota Vikings. Clip, listen, I'm going to continue to tell this to your audience. If you see a game, generally a standalone game like that one last night, and you have a major public side against a team that has been underwhelming, and you see the number go the opposite way of the way it should, if you're betting the favorite, you will lose every time. Minnesota was a 7-point dog all week. The day of the game, the whole world's on Seahawks. Drops to 6.5. 6s were out there. That's a stone-cold rat line. Vikings were going to get the job done, and I wasn't surprised they won.
Jeff, how about tonight? You got a home favorite in New Orleans. They're favored by 7 over the Chargers. Total 49.5. Any interest in this Monday night matchup?
Yeah, I took a real small piece of the under at 50. I think at 49.5, it's still fine. As long as it doesn't go under, let's say 48.5, I'm feeling pretty good with it. The Chargers are a group that I think are going to be a little hamstrung tonight. I don't know how effectively they're going to be able to run the ball without Eckler. I like Herbert a lot, but I still think he has some growing to do, and that's fine. It's his first year. He's like, 4 or 5 games in, not even 3 games in. I just don't love them offensively. They're a team that generally play in the 20s, good defense. And look, for as bad as New Orleans looks at times against the pass, they're a stout run defense. I don't expect the Chargers to do much of anything on the ground tonight. And I expect Dennis Allen to have a pretty good game plan for Justin Herbert. I'll trust the LA defense to get some stops. I think they're pretty undervalued on that side of the ball. This number seemed just a bit high to me. I'd have priced it more 46.5, 47. If you're getting above 48.5, 48, it's a buy on under for me. Listen, unders have been tough, but I'm willing to think this one comes in.
We got Monday Night Football for you tonight on Pirate Radio, and we've got Tuesday Night Football for you as well. I think, Shirley, you said 6:30 start time for Bills and Titans coming up on Tuesday. Jeff, anything on that game? And also, have you looked ahead already to next week when it comes to the NFL?
I haven't a ton just yet. I'm still, with so many schedule issues, Clip, you kind of just kind of wait now until let's say Monday or Tuesday. But yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles play the Baltimore Ravens. I know this team, the Eagles, more intimately than anyone on earth. And look, I think the Ravens are going to rip them apart. Just being frank with you, this Eagles team is not good. I know they'll continue to hang on the fact that, look, they're probably going to win this division by denomination just because I don't think anyone else is anywhere near good. And with Dak Prescott gone now, but the Baltimore Ravens are on another level. I think they run the football down the Eagles' throats. I don't think the Eagles move the ball against a good defense. It's going to be another runaway, I think, for a good team. I didn't see this number. I'm sure you can tell me. I'm actually just getting home to my house right now, so I don't have it in front of me. But I would figure it's probably 8.5, 9.
For Ravens Eagles?
Yeah.
I'm seeing 7.5 Baltimore on the road. Yeah.
Wasn't too far off.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.5. I don't hate it at all.
Yeah. Jeff, you've also liked what the Carolina Panthers are doing. You liked them last week against Atlanta, and interesting that they're home favorites against the Bears, and we're talking about a team that's won 3 in a row and are going for 4 in a row at home on Sunday against Chicago.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing out of Carolina. Seems like they're really taking to what Matt Rule is teaching down there. The quarterback play, you'll never hear me say enough good things about Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's as good a solid quarterback as you'll find in this league. He does it without no fanfare. He's worked through injuries. And let's Clip, they've done this without Christian McCaffrey. It's time to start paying attention to Carolina. I really believe that. I think this defense gets better and better each week. And you're only going to get a really good player back in Christian McCaffrey, one of the best in the league. So, let Tampa and New Orleans kind of fight it out. Don't sleep on Carolina. This is a team. Don't be surprised if they find their way into the playoffs.
Jeff Nadu, Barstool Sports, joining us. Jeff, we hope to see you back in the gambling house in Philly sometime soon. A lot of action going on right now.
There is a lot of action going on. I will likely be there this week. I had a little bit of an emergency come up yesterday, but as far as that's concerned, Clip, I want to let your listeners know as well, I am working on a very detailed blog. I'm doing a entire mock draft for the first round in the NBA. I'm giving out my thoughts on each player and why I think they should go to that team. And I got to tell you, Clip, if I can give you just a quick teaser, I've already finished the Charlotte Hornets, and I'm excited about that pick.
It is a very big draft for the Hornets. And when is that coming out, Jeff?
You want to hear my pick?
If you want to give it away now, yeah, please.
Okay, well, I think the Charlotte Hornets, and I want to make this clear to the audience, I don't think they're as far away as some people might think. It's not difficult to compete in the East. Okay, they have some good young players. Give me Obi Toppin out of Dayton. I think he would fit them well. He screams Kenyon Martin to me. He's got to work on his defensive abilities in the NBA, but he is a bucket getter. He's a high-flying kid you would see on a poster in Clip Brock's bedroom 20 years ago.
Alongside Ryan Klesko?
Yes, yeah, by the way, Ryan Klesko, what a wild poster choice for you.
It really was, and I had that exact poster, and like I told you, Jeff, I always kind of like the off-the-beaten-path guys, not the obvious guys. So Walt Weiss would have been more acceptable, or like Javi Lopez, but Ryan Klesko? There was also a Sports Illustrated article, and he was in like this tactical gear, and I thought Ryan Klesko was cool for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta wonder what he's up to nowadays, Ryan Klesko.
Where are they now? That'd be a good one.
Yeah, definitely a series. Maybe that's one series I'm considering, Clip, for Barstool, going and finding like people that were just random and like didn't pan out necessarily, and seeing where they are now. Like, what's Bryant Reeves up to? Like, what's Ryan Klesko up to?
Yeah. I like. Let's see, who was my guy? I liked. I think I might be a little older than you, Jeff, but like. Remember Lawrence Moten from Syracuse and Exree Hipp from Maryland? Like those random good college basketball players that never did anything in the NBA? I'd like to see what they're up to.
I don't know if you remember this guy from. I mean, you're not from far away from Washington D.C., but you remember that guy Shamgod?
Of course,
the Wizard.
Providence.
Yeah, Shamgod. He was a New York point guard, and I've talked before to you about the Stephon Marbury doc on Netflix. It's tremendously good. I'm telling you right now, Clip, Shamgod was the best ball handler I've ever seen, and he's a guy that I want to find as well and see what he's been up to.
Man, him and a white dude who I cannot remember his name when they played for Providence beat Duke in the tournament one year, I remember, and I really enjoyed that. All right. Well, I like that, Jeff. Let's do some Where Are They Now? Another Barstool blog idea for the big man.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
This video series would be fire. I'm going to put it on. I'm doing it.
All right. Good deal. Right. Hey, Jeff, thanks for joining us, man. We'll talk to you again later this week.
Thanks, Clip.
All right, the BMOC, Jeff Nadu from Barstool Sports, joining us here on Pirate Radio Live. We'll get some more of his picks and opinions coming up Thursday right here on the program. We will take a time out, come back, and talk more ECU South Florida. Get Ronnie Woodward's thoughts on the Pirates' victory on Saturday. And also, Ronnie has seen and detailed a lot of these ECU Navy matchups. How will this one be different from past results? We'll ask Ronnie about that as well when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey guys, listen up. The next 30 seconds is very important because we have an announcement. Shimmer Boutique is your one-stop shop to make you look good and thoughtful. This is Ashley at Shimmer Boutique. We specialize in men's and women's apparel and also carry the biggest selection of local hats and jewelry. From Yetis to Hey Dudes, this is the place for you. Did I mention we also have free gift wrapping? Come check us out at our new location on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks. Shimmer is your one-stop shop for the whole family, and we will always make your shopping experience easy and fun.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender. Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
May 2020, a riot erupts in downtown Greenville. Small businesses are looted. The county courthouse windows are smashed. American flags are torn down and burned. Liberal State House candidate Brian Farkas refused to condemn the violence. Instead, Farkas attacked our police by calling for a radical statewide oversight committee that would bypass our local elected sheriff and district attorney. Farkas even took a $5,400 donation from a group which explicitly seeks to defund our local police at a time when we need them most. State Representative Dr. Perrin Jones has taken a different approach. He's working with Democrats and Republicans in Pitt County to institute meaningful reforms that protect victims of crime and the rule of law, all while honoring those who put their lives on the line for us every day.
I'm Dr. Perrin Jones, and I'll stand up for our boys here in Pitt County and across North Carolina.
Dr. Perrin Jones for State House, paid for by supporters of Perrin Jones.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. For Greenville Auto World, cross from Hardee's at Bell's Fork.
Can't make it to the game? Relax. Bostic Sugg Furniture can provide you with the best seats in the house. We have the area's largest selection of Lazy Boy motion furniture in stock and ready to go. Lazy Boy recliners, reclining sofas, love seats, and reclining sectionals in hundreds of colors, styles, fabrics, and leather, all at a very comfortable price. Remember, when it comes to Lazy Boy motion furniture, we're your ticket to the best seats in the house. Bostic Sugg Furniture in Greenville.
This is ECU assistant football coach Roy Tesh, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Hey, do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Do you think your employees might have been exposed? Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results are available. Arc Point Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or just walk in. Arc Point Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Chandler Honeycutt producing today's program in his Victory Monday Luke Kuechly jersey and ECU Pirate hat. It was nice to have a victory over the weekend for ECU. And something positive to talk about with Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector, who joins me inside the Pirate Radio studios. Hello, Ronnie.
What's up? The Panthers are good this year, right?
I don't. Are they good, Chandler?
All right, 2-2.
They're better than expected. I can tell you that.
That is very true.
Are they 3-2? 2-2?
3-2. They've won 3 in a row.
Yeah. Look at that.
And they are favorites against the Bears at home on Sunday. An opportunity to get to 4-2. We'll see what happens with the Saints tonight. Saints are good. The Bugs are good and will probably get better. But if I'm a Panthers fan, I'm excited about where this thing is right now.
Yeah. You know why it's really a Victory Monday today?
Because of Rajon Rondo winning a championship?
Second title, baby.
I saw a picture
of his kid.
Oh, I saw that was cool. He was like drinking the grape juice, whatever that is, in that bottle. I hope it was grape juice.
I assume it was, yeah.
He had it turned up. You know, these, and I don't know how I feel about when like a player goes to a new team, they like Photoshop a jersey on them immediately and put it out, and like, well, that's not real. Oh, as we have a ding dong, a 3-run bomb, and Tampa
Margot
leads 3-0 in the first inning. Oh wow, 3-run to center field. But I saw a picture of Rondo in a half Celtics, half Lakers jersey, and like it was split down the middle, even the shorts. And I was almost sent you a message like, "Hey, Ronnie, here's your next jersey. Get the half Lakers, half Celtics."
The real one would be like 1-6 Lakers, 1-6 Pelicans, 1-6 Bulls.
That would be
Mavericks.
Cool. Like almost pinstripes.
Yeah.
The jerseys.
All the teams are like, I can't deal with this. He's only fit with 2 teams.
I love
Celtics when he was young. Obviously, he didn't have an ego and was really good. And he fit with the Lakers some this year. I think
was he with the Kings?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kings, Pelicans, Bulls for like 2 weeks. The Mavericks.
He's
for like
been around.
And they just couldn't handle him, and it didn't work.
I told Ronnie that I was so into the NBA playoffs and stuff, and you were like, nah, not interested.
I knew the Lakers were going to get there at the end.
And so I watched just about every game, and then in the finals, I didn't watch hardly any.
Yeah.
At all. And you were like watching all of it. Yeah. So it was a role reversal.
I checked in like the Western semis or so.
I enjoyed the series with Denver. That was fun.
Yeah, the Denver one I was into. And Igo's following the Nuggets, so that was fun.
Honestly, after the Heat blew them out that first game, or the Lakers blew out the Heat the first game, I was kind of checked out on it.
It was over. They crushed it last night. Rondo did, seriously, though, play really well last night. Like, I think he finished with 16, 17 points. But AD and LeBron, like, those two were just too talented.
Yeah.
Like, they were just crushing them the whole game.
A 1-2 punch, much like I'm hearing people compare AD and LeBron to Raji Harris and Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton Mitchell, yeah.
So Keaton Mitchell gets the start on Saturday, and we were talking about it in the fifth quarter, and we've heard how much the coaches put on practice, Ronnie. Like, we don't have the real depth chart for you on Monday because we got to see what practice is like this week. I think after the game, Mike Houston said Keaton Mitchell had the best week of practice.
Yep.
He got the start and looked, he was okay at 42 yards on the day. But Raji Harris came in, and they had to feed the bell cow. 19 carries, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns. I would love to see his yards after contact and what he did in that stat category because he was moving people. He was dragging people with him. Chandler, you kept pointing out that he falls forward and he holds on to the ball because when you're held up by 3 guys and you don't want to go down, that's when they start swiping at that ball. He was able to hold on to the football the other night.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing when you have a guy like Raji Harris who wants those extra yardage. I mentioned it on the fifth quarter Collins show that, being a Panthers fan, we struggled with that with DJ Moore, who also likes to get the extra yardage. And in his first couple of years, he struggled with protecting the football. And we saw the other night that there was no problem for Raji Harris protecting the football. And, I mean, he just runs guys over, and he doesn't take any contact. He'll get that extra 2 yards.
Ronnie, I thought going into the game, South Florida gave up 3 scores offensively to Cincinnati. The other one came on a kick return. I knew they had their struggles offensively. I thought their defense was pretty good, so I was impressed with what ECU was able to do on Saturday offensively.
Yeah, and it was, as you mentioned, Keaton Mitchell. He was really good the first series. Steven, sorry. Was texting us, but 58 yards after contact, I guess.
Thanks, Steven.
He was listening to the show.
There you go. I knew it was a big number. That is a very big number to have.
But I thought Mitchell was really good. Like solid, like helping set the tone. And then Raji Harris was and I asked him about it after the game. The 42-yard, it was 47. Well, no, it was 42 touchdown for Harris was impressive because he bounced to the outside, went up the sideline, stiff armed a guy. I mean, he's a bigger power type back, but he showed off some speed there. Those two, I have to think they might not be first on the depth chart tomorrow, but they got to be your leading guys this week. And the other thing, too, I asked Mike Houston, Penix was in, I noticed it when we were at Steven's house watching the game. Penix was in this, H-back, tight end, role at the line of scrimmage.
Shirley, you were talking about that on the fifth quarter, the H-back role that Penix could play.
Yeah, and it was effective. He caught a ball out of the backfield. He blocked.
Got a touchdown.
There were some passing, third downs where I watched him when they were in that, and he kind of slid back as a tight end, a pass blocking, H-back.
Also, there was a 4th and 1, and Raji Harris is big and bad, and they brought in Penix, who's also a bigger back, and he carried the ball and got the first down. So, there's a role for all these guys. There's a role for Chase Hayden, I think, moving forward. But you got to have your top guys, and
I like the freshmen. And running the ball, those two have looked the best.
I would love to see that continue, but it's a long season. Things happen, and who knows? It could be kind of a musical chairs back there. But moving forward for the near future, it looks like we got some guys that can carry the ball. These freshmen.
Yeah, I think those two. Certainly this week, you got to give them a shot again. And if Penix, if what Coach Houston said is true, when I asked him about that, if Penix if Penix has embraced this
team role,
maybe tight end, maybe he's really good catching the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah.
Maybe you get some runs in certain situations, but this versatile type role, maybe that works for him. And if he's the best blocker, you get him in there in some blocking situations, but you let Mitchell and Harris kind of handle the true, traditional running back role. It worked against South Florida, so we'll see. And we can get into some of this later in big picture throughout the week and whatnot. But the thing that stands out to me getting to this week a little bit is Navy's in first place in the league. Hashtag what a joke. And ECU is 1-1. This is a meaningful game.
Yeah.
You have to turn the South Florida game into an
Another one.
game. You know, that's kind of the next step. It was big they beat South Florida because it wasn't UConn. Everybody, 50 people said that on the call-in show, and I listened today while I was running. And that was big. That was a huge step. It was on the road. The next step is kind of getting another one, and then playing in games that affect the league standings and matter, having an impact in the league. That's what they're trying to get. And I think the Navy matchup is a really good one to come up next because it's kind of the next challenge and hurdle, and it's a step up in program. And I think even though this Navy team obviously is not as good as what they've been the past few years, it's still that would be a massive win. That would be a program type win if they beat Navy because it holds a little more clout than South Florida. So that's kind of the next step.
Saturday was Mike Houston's biggest win to this point as the coach at ECU.
Yeah.
Easy to say, I would think.
Yeah.
And if they win on Saturday, I think that would leapfrog for the biggest win as a coach at ECU for Mike Houston if they can knock off Navy.
Yeah.
Before we get more into the midshipmen, Ronnie, I do want to point out, the numbers 17 of 26, 222 yards. If you see that in 2020, you're like, oh, that's not a great passing day. But that was Ayler's best game of the year and maybe his most efficient game as a quarterback here at ECU. 3 touchdowns. He was crisp. You like that completion percentage compared to what he's had so far this year. And part of that, you can probably think the run game. Part of that was CJ not being covered by South Florida. But, hey, if they want to do that, I'll take that every time.
Yep.
But a very good bounce back game from the entire offense, but from Ahlers and the O-line as well.
Yeah, no, the O-line was huge. I want to ask some of that and write some of that tomorrow with Coach Houston as well to see what he saw or kind of follow up from Saturday. And I think that set the tone for all of it, really. I think it started with the offensive line. And then I don't remember, 17 to 26, so Holton had some incompletions, but I don't remember any balls that were dangerous or that was almost picked. There wasn't even a whole lot of risky plays or throws.
I remember 2 drops by CJ that could have had the numbers even bigger.
There's definitely one.
Yeah.
And then the 75-yarder to CJ for the touchdown. He burned KJ Sales. We watched that on the replay because I couldn't figure out who the defender was. It was their best cornerback, and he beat him right off the line. And that
did he think he had some help or something?
I don't.
It was
I don't
weird.
Know. It was CJ was in the slot, and we Donnie mentioned that he was in the slot, and that's why I was like, look, Johnson's in the slot, and it was Sales that was guarding him, and he blew right. But he had press coverage on him. He blew right by him. There was no help. It was an easy, long play, and that's what we talked about in the pregame. Who gets the cheap points, that the big, long play.
Yeah.
It was ECU. I thought that was the biggest play of the game, honestly. And then they turned it right around with the weird fumble where he hit him in the helmet, hit the ball, and the ball went up 30 yards in the air.
That was great.
You get a fumble, and then Rajah Harris scores on the 42-yard touchdown. Those plays were what we talked about the previous week. Georgia State, touchdown, turnover, touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You see when you hit a long play, turn that into a turnover, then a touchdown. I thought that was huge. That whole sequence was the key to the game.
ECU also had a little bend but don't break going because they gave up big plays. Look at these numbers, Ronnie. You got, let's see, 2, 4, 5 of the ball carriers had runs, and 13's not a lot, but double-digit yard runs. And then you look at the receiving numbers. You got a 52, a 37, a 31. So they gave up some pretty big plays in the game, but it didn't burn them. It didn't really hurt them.
And I wonder how much of that was on the first series too.
Yeah, because they went down the field.
They marched right down.
Literally a 1 minute, 2 minute drive.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think it was 6 plays, 65 yards. Just 10 plays or 10 yards of play, right down the end zone, and it was whoa,
here we go again.
Yeah, it was but ECU responded since after that, and And Johnny Ford's a good player. He scored twice for the Bulls, and he's a tough one to maintain and kind of contain. But yeah, the complimentary football ECU played, I think, from offense, especially in the first half. I mean, it wasn't completely over at halftime.
Well, because
third quarter,
we haven't won in so long.
Yeah.
It felt like no lead was safe at that point, right?
By the end of the third quarter, though, Johnson scored again. USF was doing nothing on offense, didn't score at all in third quarter. By the early fourth quarter, it was done. Like, it was over. And that was big time.
And ECU stopped them on at least 2 fourth downs.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's got it on these stats. I don't see it on this stat sheet. But they won the turnover battle. They held them on fourth down a couple times. And great win for the Pirates.
It was.
On Saturday night. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll look more at the Navy game going on this weekend and some other news and notes in college football when we return on Pirate Radio Live. The Rays up on the Astros 3-0 in the second inning, game 2 of the ALCS. We will talk more with Ronnie Woodward when we return after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups, working at the local brickyard and McDonald's, shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
What's the big deal? Where can you get pizza, bread twists, specialty chicken, and more for just $5.99 each?
Is it at Domino's?
He hands off hand-tossed pizza and a marble cookie brownie. He's going! There's a lot of variety on the radio and at Domino's too, where you can
Mix and match 2 or more. $5.99 each at Domino's.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza, bone-in wings, and bread bowls will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street, and get a Fast Pass for only $9.99 at the new location on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
Over 32 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina opened its doors as a place to help families stay together and close to the care they need when they have a sick child. With the addition of a second Ronald McDonald House inside the Maynard Children's Hospital, our need to serve is greater than ever as the medical community flourishes. Help us expand our mission of keeping families close as we grow to meet that need. You can show your support by making a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Visit our website today at rmhenc.org for more information. Thank you for your support.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, Let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by The Man Cave, Greenville's newest premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Book your appointment today at mancaveandnails.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. And Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville's new extended care clinic is now open Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for any urgent orthopedics care. For more information, call 757-2663 or visit orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East, providing services to Eastern North Carolina and the Pirate Nation for more than 35 years. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley Rhodes. We got a big Hour 3 on tap. Troy D. and the AD at ECU, Jon Gilbert. Also, we'll open up the booty bag, which, by the way, folks, during our meeting today, Ellerby said there was going to be a new item or two in the booty bag soon.
Yeah, we're going to throw some booty in, some new booty in the booty bag.
New booty in the booty bag. What do you want to give away today, Shirley?
I am going to give away, let's do Chico's today.
All right, shrimp taco, rice, and beans to Chico's can be yours. Ronnie Woodward is here. Oh, man, can't go wrong with that.
Shrimp tacos are awesome.
That's my go-to every time at Chico's. You're talking about the last time ECU was above 500 in the AAC.
I think we have an answer.
Well, yeah, and it was
that's lame. It is
a game that got moved up, I believe, due to weather or something. The old Sunday UConn game, Tarbutt.
UConn
missed the field goal. 2017. And
at UConn.
ECU went to 1-0 in league play.
I don't think it happened in 16. Started 0-2, 0-3. It couldn't have.
They only won 3 games.
Yeah. So really, 15 is your real answer.
Anything with UConn has an asterisk by it.
Yeah,
so.
I got to throw it out at this point.
Here's one for you, Ronnie. You like to look stuff up. When is the last time before Saturday night ECU allowed less than 100 yards rushing in a game? Because I feel like that has not happened.
Phil Steele's going to tell me that one.
Nah, that would have to do. You'd have to do some research on that one. But how about that number?
Yeah.
34 carries, 92 yards for South Florida. One thing that helps that number, Ronnie, is sacks.
Yeah.
Getting after the quarterback. And those 5 big sacks help you with that rushing stat. And it was nice to see. We talked about it on the pregame. Now, you claimed, did you call the first?
Dre Wilson.
You said that?
Yeah, we were like, who's going to get the first sack? And I was like, Dre Wilson's like, I like what he's doing.
Right. Well, it's a 4-hour show. I don't really listen to everything people say.
I'm pretty sure I said Dre. Because we talked about Chris Willis.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to go with a linebacker. I think Dre Wilson's son. I at least mentioned his name and said, like, watch out.
I'll give you credit for it. Sure.
Because I don't really remember either. But I remember mentioning his name. But he's been a good player. He's not the biggest dude, but he's got some skills and outside linebacker. And
Aaron Ramseur was everywhere.
Yeah.
Xavier Smith had a good game. Chandler and I kept talking about Chad Stevens, who seemed to be all over the place. That was a really good game by the defense as a whole, but very active linebackers, which was a very pleasant surprise.
That's a good thing to have, right? Heading into the Navy game.
Yeah, right.
Before you play Navy, is to have good linebacker play. So yeah, those guys you mentioned, I think, are kind of moving to the forefront. And if you have some version of Smith, Ramseur, and Wilson, I mean, they seem to be the most consistent guys.
Yeah, and somebody asked after the game, where's Bruce Bivens? And I don't know.
He was on the sideline. I saw him a few times, just from the TV stream. So
I guess guys are, outplayed him now.
Yeah, if the more Ramseur plays, I'm assuming that means the less Bivens plays. And Smith is, I think, kind of entrenched as a starter for the most part. But they're moving. I mean, they're playing. Yeah, you mentioned, some of the freshmen. I think they're playing a lot of guys, certainly on defensive line, but I think linebackers are rotating a decent amount as well. So, that's something to watch, I think, for this week as well.
Check out the Brian Bailey Show if you missed it at noon, coming up at 6, because he had a great chat with Byron Thweet, who talked a lot of special teams, also talked about defending that option. We'll have questions from Mike Houston coming up Tuesday at his weekly Zoom, and also the coordinators, Donnie Kirkpatrick and Blake Harrell, coming up on Wednesday. We'll ask Blake about defending the option. We'll ask Donnie about scoring on Navy, Ronnie, because this was my thing last year, and it's going to be my thing again this year. I'm expecting ECU to give up 30, 35 points on Saturday. It's going to be on the offense to put together drives, let the defense rest, but also put up points and keep pace with Navy, because they're not a team you can come back on. If they get up 2 possessions, it's about all she wrote. You got to stay score for score with them. Yeah,
I mean, and Navy, man, I don't know. Part of me, I'll probably get into more of this the week goes, but part of me, without doing a whole lot of prep, says Navy's not nearly as good as they have been. But I also think they're different because they don't have that dynamic quarterback. They don't have Malcolm Perry, Keenan Reynolds, where it starts with the quarterback. The guy with this one is Nelson Smith. Some of the other running backs they have, the quarterback's really been the issue for them for most games. So, I mean, I almost wonder, is it almost worse of the full? Do you get more of the fullback dive? Or like with Malcolm Perry, there was always that element of like, he's probably not handing it to the fullback. It
can't be worse than Malcolm Perry just zooming by everybody.
But they did like some creative stuff with him, and this Navy team looks to be true, like the quarterback,
old school,
huge threat.
Traditional.
It's like you got to get the fullback, and if you're not going to get the fullback, that he's going to run it 4 yards every play.
Yeah,
so you stop
and grind on you.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm intrigued by what that looks like, because we got so used to Malcolm Perry. Like last year, I remember they didn't even fake it to the fullback. Like the fullback was like a lead blocker. It was like an old school, like pee-wee football, like put your best athlete at quarterback and you just run like quarterback sweeps. Like they didn't even have an option.
Yeah.
It was just like hike it. These dudes are going to go block, and he's going to run like the quarterback power, like Cam Newton style, and you couldn't stop it. But this is going to be a totally different. I think it starts with the fullback.
Nelson Smith last week, 20 carries, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, long of 26.
My other guy is Chance Warren is pretty good. CJ Williams is a guy. Yeah, they sneak him out to throw it to some. He's like the slot back.
By the way, their quarterback Morris, 2 for 2, 48 yards. They threw it 2 times. I'm always terrified of them throwing one over the top, Ronnie, because it happens every year against ECU.
He's not dynamic, not running the ball at all. So it's a different Navy setup, I think, than what people were used to, or people were so scared of. I don't think they're that explosive on offense.
We also have like those flashbacks of the 76-point game, and a lot of that was the fullback Alexander Teach.
Yep.
I still remember his name because he crushed the Pirates that day.
Yeah.
So to your point, that
Nelson
the
Smith's
fullback
the guy.
has hurt the Pirates in the past.
And that's what BYU did the first night. They hit Nelson Smith.
They just made sure
they weren't going to let the fullback dive get him, and they were so physical and big that it worked. Like that was a matchup nightmare for Navy.
I wonder if you're a defensive coordinator, do like you always hear like Belichick takes away the best player for the other team. Like, do you focus on one thing, or is it all equal? Hey, we got to focus on all these things equally.
Yeah.
If maybe it's Nelson Smith is the marked man on Saturday.
I mean, he's I think that's the key to it, because I'm just not impressed with the quarterback. He can throw it a little bit, but it's not Malcolm Perry by any stretch of the means. So it's a different deal.
We'll talk about it as the week goes on. Our AAC Survivor is over. I am the champion,
the winner. I should have picked ECU.
I know, you should have.
Well, that was my first thought, because it was going to be the last game. Remember, I was like, in the order, and then you were like, no, it's for like
the week.
And I was like,
So we went head to head.
We did. Tulane.
You were up 24-7 with Tulane.
You can't trust a lead with Tulane.
They have blown a 24-0 lead against Navy and a 24-7 lead against Houston now. And by the way, Houston looked pretty good.
They did.
As long as they did not put the ball on the ground and let Tulane have it, they were fine. Because if they didn't turn it over, they were going up and down the field scoring.
Yeah.
That Stevenson guy for them is
Yeah.
one of my favorite players.
I'm not going to go on a huge, crazy rant, but the Tulane thing I'm almost sick of.
What thing?
Like every year, like this is the year, like Tulane's the sleeper, like Tulane's going to be good. Like, no, man.
They're average.
Yeah. But like, well, no, I guess they're average, but I don't know. They're like that team every year.
So you're tired of hearing about Tulane?
Tulane's, they're going to turn the corner. Like, they're going to go to 7-8 wins. Like, they're going to, be in contention.
All right.
And they're the same team every year.
Ronnie's out on Tulane.
I'm mad. They cost me the survivor pool.
Wouldn't it be something, Ronnie, if ECU is the first team that knocks off Navy in conference play this year, the team you picked to win it all? That would be some poetic justice. Either way, you're going to look like you'll have a win to cover, which is always fun for ECU. Or you'll say, hey, the team I picked to win it all is 3-0.
ECU's going to beat Tulane, too. I'm over Tulane.
You are done with those guys. All right, we'll have a game to cover. Are you going? You're going to the game Saturday?
I'll be there.
Yeah, with a few fans.
Have to leave the couch this time.
We'll talk about
back-to-back road games from the couch.
And then guess what? 2 Saturdays off in a row.
That's true.
Because we got an off week and then a Friday night game. Love
That's
it. Good. Love it.
I'm in.
Looking forward to it.
COVID-era football is not all bad.
I know, because there's a game.
You're a journalist.
There's a game every week, every day of the week this week.
Yeah.
So there's Bills Titans tomorrow night, Louisiana Coastal, which is a sneaky good game on Wednesday. 2 games scheduled Thursday, a game Friday, and then boom. So football all the time. All right. We will talk about the fans in the stands at Daddy Ficklin Stadium and a lot more coming up with Jon Gilbert in hour number 3 of today's show. Ronnie, thanks for hanging out, man.
You got it.
Enjoyed it. We'll talk to you 10 o'clock hour on Saturday.
Be here.
All right, good deal.
I go.
All right, let's take a timeout. Shirley will come back, get you ready for hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Troy D and Jon Gilbert on the way in. Back with more after this.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Hey, this is Chef David Finelli from Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers. Today I'm going to tell you about our family meal deals for 4 hungry adults. We offer Finelli's Cafe lasagna, chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, our hamburger steak and gravy with mashed potatoes, pork chops. If you'd like to order, please go to our Pop's Old Fashioned Cheeseburgers Facebook page or our website. Choose your meal, order online, pay online, roll up, and we'll get it right out to your car. Thank you from the Pops crew.
Banking is banking until service is not the same. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust, and this year has been unusual, but we have continued to focus on what has always been important to us, our customers. When businesses needed access to the Paycheck Protection Program, our team of local bankers worked around the clock to successfully keep our customers open and their employees working. Wouldn't you like to deal with a bank that is responsive to your needs, can make local decisions, and cares about you, the customer? We are Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Frells family lives on a lush piece of land called Greener Pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land, it's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Get quality at every turn with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer, with 27 locations in North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Find out more at QualityEquip.com.
There have been many changes in the automotive world. At Phelps Chevrolet, the Phelps boys are here to take care of you.
Mike, Daryl, and 4 of Mr. Phelps' grandsons, Wade, West, Allen, and Clay. You see, things at Phelps remain the same. The Phelps team has served Eastern North Carolina for over 50 years. We make your visit easy and fun. We are your neighbors, and that's what neighbors do. Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville. Like Mr. Phelps' great-granddaughter says, come in and get you one.
The fun place to dine out with friends and family is Familia. Familia has something for everyone and offers favorites like New York-style pizza, lasagna, homemade meatballs, plus new specials like chicken parm alfredo, mahi fish and chips, chicken piccata, veggie burger, butternut squash ravioli, and more. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Let's turn a trip to the branch into a tap on your phone. Let's hit pause on a lost debit card without hitting pause on life. That's how First National Bank is redefining convenience with a top-rated mobile app that puts more security and control at your fingertips and friendly people to help you succeed right by your side. Let's get started at fnb-online.com or your local First National Bank. FNB member FDIC.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. University PC Care are the local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live on a Monday, and a big hour it shall be. We will open up the Pirate Radio booty bag, make you a winner. Later this hour, we also have our big calls of the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show. And a couple of guests here in the Pirate Radio studios. Troy D alongside. What's up, Troy?
Good to see you, Clip. How are you, sir?
Great to talk to you on a Monday after an ECU victory.
It was a victory for all my teams. A rare double header in many ways. The Bears won earlier in the week. The Pirates win Saturday. It's pretty fired up.
Troy D feeling good?
For football, that's as good as it gets for me.
No doubt. Washington did not join the winner's circle
sorry about
on
that,
Sunday.
I wasn't going to bring that up. I was just focusing on the positive.
Got the Giants next week. Maybe they'll get that one. Jon Gilbert feeling good after an ECU football win. The AD at East Carolina. He joins us as well. Hello, John.
Good to see you, and excited to be here after a win.
Yes, sir. And hopefully we can...
This is the first time we've talked to you after a win in a while, so this is good. Yeah. Like, we got fun stuff to talk about today.
I'll keep coming back on Mondays after wins.
That's the deal.
Also, it's going to be fun to play the big calls of the 5th quarter and have the athletics director at East Carolina hearing what the fans sound like after a win.
Yeah, but I got to preface this clip with, you were in Tampa at the game, so obviously, this will be new to you. You
right.
would have heard this, but normally, and you probably have responsibilities after a game. You may not be able to hear the post-game call-in show that often. A night game is a little bit different than a day game when it comes to the fan reaction. Just like wins is different versus a loss, but if you understand what I'm saying.
I understand clearly.
Yeah, there's more adult beverages that are consumed in an evening game and all day than there are during a 12 o'clock kickoff.
I can imagine, yes.
Thank you for explaining that to athletic director Jon Gilbert about
John's
how
kind of a,
some fans get a little more...
shucks, guy. He's not wanting to, maybe think like that, so I just want to make sure he understood this isn't how it always is.
And these are the big calls. We played some of the smaller calls earlier in the show where fans were really enjoying the win.
That's a new segment I like, the small calls on the show.
Yeah. All right, tell you what, let's take a time out. We'll come back. Jon Gilbert in for the hour with Troy D and I. We got our big calls, and we'll open up the booty bag here on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is former ECU tight end Bryce Williams from my friends at the Auto Store Group. If you're in the market for a quality used vehicle, then the Auto Store Group is for you. The Auto Store Group has 3 locations and over 150 quality used vehicles to choose from for all budgets. Shop their entire inventory today at theautostoregroup.com. The Auto Store Group, your hometown store and Pirate owned and operated for over 38 years. Go Pirates!
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
With Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, Kevin Harlan here from Westwood One with a preview of Monday Night Football with the Los Angeles Chargers at the New Orleans Saints. Kurt, it's a unique matchup of signal callers. The Chargers rookie Justin Herbert faces off against 20-year veteran Drew Brees, who entered the league when Herbert was just 3 years old.
Hard to believe we can even say that, but it's going to be a fun matchup. Drew Brees kind of turned it around last week, played a lot better football after everybody was questioning him, and Justin Herbert, I think, has been a nice surprise. Even though he got the job due to the injury with Tyrod Taylor, he's done a nice job of making big plays and giving this team a spark.
We're looking forward to the Chargers at the Saints on Monday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sure thing, we can help you with your wipers. If yours are squeaking or streaking, it's probably time to replace them. We've got great deals on wipers that can stand up to any weather. Right now, you can get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail or email when you buy 2 Rain-X Quantum wiper blades. And with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup, you can get them fast. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
For the ones working tirelessly to keep their coworkers safe. For the ones rising to new challenges. For the ones rebuilding stronger than before. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, safety recovery guides, and 24/7 support. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors. 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, Pirates supporting Pirates.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Office Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Atlantic Wireless is your local authorized U.S. cellular agent and now offers curbside service and free home delivery. In addition to phone service, Atlantic Wireless has a great selection of tablets and now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, great to be with you on a Victory Monday here on Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here, Troy D. and ECU Athletics Director Jon Gilbert inside the Pirate Radio studios. coming off an East Carolina road victory against South Florida 44-24 on Saturday night. And we were with you before the game and late into the night, Troy D, after the game on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. A lot of happy Pirate fans after that victory.
Yeah, we talked about it all week. We were hungry for a victory. The program was hungry for a victory. And John, I know you feel the same way. It kind of changes your whole attitude when you get that first win of the season. Kind of get that. I call it getting the monkey off your back. And the Pirates took that monkey and slammed it onto the ground Saturday night, and it was a much needed victory.
It really was. And I think the big thing, you go into the locker room post game and. I'm excited for our older players, but also see guys that, a early road trip, you go into a visiting stadium and win a game on the road. It does give you a bit of confidence knowing like, hey, we can win on the road. Like, it doesn't just have to be a home game to win a game.
And it really was, it looked like a completely different team than the week before where the Pirates go on the road against Georgia State, and it didn't look like we could do anything right. Where, against South Florida, it seemed like almost just about everything was going in the right direction.
And I think it started with up front. We just played a lot better up front against South Florida that I think really made a difference. Obviously, when you rush the ball, we had a running back that, rushed for over 100 yards. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. And what that does for you, it opens up the passing game and creates other opportunities, because they've got to respect that. And when you can run the ball like we did, credit goes to the big uglies up front.
Yeah.
Awesome night for Raji Harris, the freshman, 115 yards, 2 touchdowns for ECU. And credit to ECU for giving us an inside look at that locker room celebration. And Shirley, before we hit our big calls, let's hear that. I don't think you can hear this enough. This is what it sounded like in the locker room after the win on Saturday night.
I could not be more proud of you. Seriously, I could not be more proud of you. Great week of practice. Great job preparation in the last 8 hours. Great focus. The best walkthroughs and meetings we've had. That just goes to show you, however you prepare, that's how you're going to play. Best Jake Verity. New school record for Carolina. We know where the fight is. Our picture, we go Pirates here in Carolina. Beautiful EC. Loaded forward from the goal. We are the Pirates at ECU. Hey, Carolina. Beautiful EC. We know where the fight is. Our picture, we go Pirates here in Carolina. Beautiful EC. Loaded forward from the goal. We are the Pirates at ECU.
Man, that's awesome.
You don't get old. It doesn't get old hearing that.
Never.
I hope we hear that again Saturday around 3:30.
We had Rick Smith here, fifth quarter, Troy. We played that for the first time, and he was around all those teams his entire life coaching football, and he paused and he was like, I got goosebumps right now. He went back to that feeling of working so hard and earning that victory. And just what it means for these guys. That was awesome.
No doubt. And as we said, hopefully this is the type of momentum they like that feeling. They haven't had that feeling. And even going back to last year, it wasn't that many times. So hopefully they want to make some hungry to have that again. And they got an opportunity against the Navy team, which is always tough for ECU. But this isn't your big brother's Navy. This is a different team. Don't take them lightly. But they're not the Navy world beaters of before with an elite quarterback necessarily. So there is an opportunity for East Carolina to be very competitive and hopefully find a way to win, John.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that the Navy quarterback from last year, he's actually on the 53-man roster for the Miami Dolphins. He's playing slot receiver there, and he did such a great job of making people miss. Mm-hmm. And so obviously Navy's Navy. They're good. They run an offense that you really have to practice against to beat. You don't see the triple option, every week. So it's assignment football. It's a tough thing to defend. But I feel confident going into the game that we're going to be competitive.
Want to talk coming up, too, if you're tuned in, Jon Gilbert joining us live in studio, ECU Athletics Director. We're going to talk about the situation this Saturday with the fans. It's a big deal. First game that there's going to be almost a substantial crowd. Over 3,000 is a lot better than 300, John. So we're going to get all the details about that. There's a lot of folks that have questions about that. So we're going to discuss the fan situation in the stands, which will actually be new for this year, or for pretty much new, other than what the parents were able to attend for the last game. But before we do that, Clip, let's get to some business we need to take care of wrapping up last week.
Before we look ahead, let's look back one more time and hear what it sounded like on a celebratory edition of the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show. Here's the big calls from Saturday night.
The big calls of the fifth quarter.
Cameron is up next in Greenville. What's up, Cameron?
Good, Coach Rick. How about them Pirates? Oh, my goodness. What a win. What a win for the program. We really witnessed history tonight. We actually beat an AAC team on the road that was not UConn. To all my Pirate fans out there, enjoy the moment, enjoy it. This is what Mike Houston has worked for, and I'm proud for the Pirates getting the win. I think our offensive line was much improved this week. Wide receivers came to play. Holt came with the confidence. I'm really proud of our linebackers, Aaron Ramsey and David Smith. I think this is the best game from our linebackers we've had, and I would say a couple of years, the way our linebackers played. But just a great feeling to get a win, and just a blowout win against a team other than UConn.
Let's go to Zach in Greenville. Hey, Zach.
How you doing, Cliff and Coach Smith?
Doing good.
I'm glad you guys are doing good, because I'm doing good, because the Pirates are back. That's not no ordinary win. The Pirates don't go on the road in the American and win often, but we did it tonight, and we didn't even have to go to Connecticut to do it. The Pirates are back. Okay, take notes of that, because we weren't supposed to win that game. We were a 6-point road dog, and we just went in there and beat the dog. We just beat the brakes off of South Florida. I don't think there was anybody in purple and white that had a bad game. I don't think there's anybody in purple and white cheering for the Pirates tonight having a bad night. The Pirates are back.
Charles in Blunt's Creek, you're next. Hey, Charles.
What a win. Where do I even start with this? I mean, going into the game, I did not feel too promising after what I saw last week at Georgia State, but a huge road win. I mean, other than the Old Dominion win last year on the road, and then, I mean, you can just forget about UConn, but when was the last time ECU went on the road to win a game like this? I mean, it was great to see C.J. Johnson get 2 touchdowns. I mean, Raji Harris, and the offense just get clicking.
Let's try Ryan in Raleigh. Hey, Ryan.
Got a W tonight. That's great. I'd like to maybe hear Coach's thoughts, too. I really liked how we used Holton tonight. I think Holton was a lot more a part of the run game, and they used his legs a lot more than we've seen in the first couple games. I think that really helped with the run game to keep the guys honest, to see him as a threat, particularly early. I think the kid Harris had a very nice game, and they seemed to really work the edges of the field early, and it opened up the middle more later in the game.
And we got Dean up in Greensboro. Hey, Dean.
Hey, how's it going, Clip?
Great, man.
Well, I figured it's only customary to ask you, how's it going or how you doing? I know that's your favorite thing ever, right?
After a win, absolutely. I'll take a how you doing.
Well, I like it after we lose too. It's kind of like that subtle, like, all right, what the F you want, man? But, hey,
just get on with it.
All I gotta say is, I'm a long-time listener of Pirate Radio, but I love being able to watch you guys and listening to you guys at the same time. Coach Smith, I miss you on the sidelines. I wish you had you there. But all I gotta say is, go Pirates. We got that victory, and keep on doing what you do. Go Pirates.
All right, Mike is up in Greenville. Hello, Mike.
Just a couple of things. A caller earlier had mentioned using Holton more in the running game tonight. I think Holton is better in the running game when it's a design run or a pass that's not there. In the RPO and the one option that was called, it was a debacle. You saw him 2 or 3 times tap his chest like it was his fault that he made a read he shouldn't have made. I just think he's better off not having to make that decision, that if he just takes off if the pass isn't there or if it is a design run.
Let's go to Atticus in Charlotte.
Clipper!
you need to get with every single financial advisor that you have within the next week,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to take out every single loan that you can possibly take, every dollar you can take out of the bank, and you need to put it every single penny that you own on the Pirates against the Naval Academy next week. Because I tell you what, Mike Houston has the boys rolling, and we are going into Daddy Ficklin Stadium next week, and we are steamrolling the Naval Academy, and we're going to win free money, and that's a guarantee from Prodigy.
All right, there are the big calls. Capped off with a little wrestling promo there from old intern Atticus, Troy D. He's fired up, and apparently he likes the Pirates next week.
Man, it was good to hear some enthusiasm. If I didn't know any different, I thought that was like a bowl victory championship.
I know,
conference championship we just had.
The Pirates are back, baby.
People are fired up, and that's good. Hopefully the team feels that energy, too. So a lot of enthusiasm, John. What are your thoughts?
Atticus brought the energy. He was all about it. It was good to, it's good to hear people call in, and people care, and that's an important part of this community, and I don't take that for granted how much people care about the Pirates.
We've said that, Troy, even in bad times, that like the anger or sadness we hear in calls after a loss is better than no calls.
Yeah.
Apathy.
Apathy is the worst thing you can do. Because
I
when
agree.
people stop caring, then you've lost it.
Yeah.
And it takes fans in the stands to help pay for this, John, as you know,
No doubt.
and to fund the program. And there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle, and the fans are obviously a huge part of it, and we can't do it without them.
That's
so
right.
It's great to have them call us after the game. We love it.
Good segue to this week, Troy, as there will be a few fans.
Let's talk about what's changed. And for folks, and most people are following the story by now. For folks that don't know, you guys, when I say you guys, ECU would love to have a lot more people there and are capable of having a lot more people there and still abiding by social distancing standards. I mean, it's a 50,000 seat stadium. It could easily put 20,000 and space people out if you wanted to. This is not your rule. This is, once again, for folks that, if they're mad about that, if they're on the outside looking in, not able to come, this is not an East Carolina University rule. This is a state guideline that you guys are having to go by. So that guideline puts it at 7% of the stadium, which is 3,500. Let's first, John, talk about how you guys split up those 3,500 tickets. I know you had to account for student tickets. You had to account for players' families. You had to account for tickets you guys needed, and then what was left for the season ticket holders. So how did it break the whole and the opposing fans?
Yeah, so we started with Navy. Obviously, Navy gets a block of tickets. Our players will get a block of tickets to use. We've got some tickets that will allocate to our sponsors. So we've got sponsor tickets, and then really the rest, and I would call the large majority students. We got student tickets that we're allocating. The large majority are going to our fans, to our donor base, and we're doing that based off of priority.
How many student tickets are you able to provide, how do students get them?
Yeah, so they did a lottery, and after talking to the SGA, we felt like it was important for the students. We talked about we're doing 500 tickets for the students, and we could end up doing more, like if we get some seats back, like if Navy only uses I think they get 200 tickets. If they use 150, we'll get 50 back and try to give those out. But we talked to the SGA about do we give out tickets individually, or do we do them in pairs, knowing that person can bring it's got to be an ECU full-time student with them. And so ultimately they felt like that was the best thing to get people to the game, because with it being so few, I could see a fraternity or sorority, they could get maybe one ticket and that person go, no, I'm not really going to go just because.
But they can bring a friend.
Now they can bring a friend. And so we felt like that was really important.
That makes sense. So let's say a ballpark around 2,500 left, which isn't a huge amount, but it's enough to get a lot of fans in there. And if you go by the priority, I imagine a lot of the tickets will be used by the new club level, by the suite holders, by the old club level. So a lot of the fans that are using these tickets might be in those areas. So it may not look like there's many fans in the general admission areas, because I guess a lot of them are going to be in the premium spots, right?
Well, certainly we've got some people that will be in boxes and club seats, but not near as many as you would think. We've had, for COVID and other reasons, we've had some skybox holders that are opting out for the year and pushing it to next year.
Okay.
So we'll have some, not all the boxes will be filled. Same thing with club. Like typically we sell some single game seats with club. We're not doing that. We'll be able to prioritize and social distance those individuals. So I do think there'll be more people in the stands because not every box will be filled, etc.
So the people that have clearance to go to the game, do they have like a certain time they need to say we're going, or if they don't, do you keep going down the line? How does that work?
Well, the everybody will get an email today on their ticket for the game. It's going to be a mobile ticket. Gates will open up an hour and a half before, so 10:30 gates will open. They'll get a mobile ticket. They'll also get an email for their parking pass that they can print at home, bring and park. And so if for some reason someone tells us they're not going, we could go further down the list, or like we had an individual today in a premium area, a box that said, hey, just based on all the factors for our family, we're just not ready to mingle in a large crowd.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to hold off on this one. And so we were able to
redistribute
and go further down the list.
All right, let's say I'm a season ticket holder and I order 4 tickets for my family and I'm on the list. Will I be able to get all 4 tickets, or is it only a percentage of those? And let's say I do get all 4 tickets, but I only need 2 and I want to give 2 to my mom and dad, let's say. Can you transfer the tickets if you have them?
Well, if you get the tickets, they're yours, so you can do with them.
But they're digital, so how do is there a way to, it's one thing if you have a physical ticket and I give one to Clip or whoever.
Right.
How do you transfer when they're
You can transfer them digitally.
Okay, so you can send them to whoever you want.
Yes.
And will you get your full allotment of what you ordered season ticket-wise?
Well, it's not the full allotment. Now, it is based on priority, so like if you ordered 4, we would, make sure that you got those 4.
I got you.
If your allotment, and we do have some season ticket holders that have a lot of tickets, obviously they wouldn't get the full complement just because of the sheer number.
And if you're not in a club level or suite, but you sit in the stadium in a regular seat, you're doing it by zones, I understand. Right?
Correct. So we're doing it by zones where people will not be able to. I'm making myself a note for something just came.
No, it's quite all right.
People will be able to sit in zones where they normally sit, but may not actually sit in their exact seats due to social distancing.
All right. So what is the feedback you guys have gotten when you've been, I know, as you said, you're just putting the email out today as far as, hey, you guys, depending on where you are on the list. And as I said, it's probably going to be a select handful of folks. It's not that many tickets that are out there. So, I mean, I projected, if you're not top 500, maybe even higher in the Pirate Club.
Actually, we sent the email out last week telling them you've been selected, like you made it based on your priority. And talking to Ryan and other Pirate Club staff people, I think we got to like in the high 900s on priority.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we went pretty deep.
So it went deeper than I would have imagined down the Pirate Club roster.
Yeah, so it was, I felt like given the 3,500, I think we figured out if we had 17% capacity, we could pretty much accommodate everybody.
Wow.
So another 10%, and we're in.
And maybe we can get there before the end of the year.
Well, we're off after Navy, then we go to Tulsa on a Friday night game, come back against Tulane. I think it's realistic. Maybe by then, we can get a higher number.
And I think once, let's get this election out of the way, things could change then too. So who knows what the situation is after whatever November 3rd brings. All right, let's talk about fans that are going. Will beer be available? That was a big deal last year. It's kind of under the radar screen right now, but do you plan to serve beverages, or how do you handle concessions in this type of environment?
So concessions will be pretty close to normal. Now we'll do prepackaged things, so not normal in that regard, but we will have beer. We'll have normal concessions. So all that will be normal. Now there are some changes due to COVID, so we're not going to have a pirate walk. We're not going to have a kid zone. Fans after the game will not be allowed on the field.
Right.
Just for not that we're in a bubble, but as close to a bubble as we can be.
Sure.
All those things will still take place.
Will you be having artificial noise like you did, since there's only 3,500?
Yeah, we'll have some ambient crowd noise. Like, we'll meet with Navy prior to the game and the game officials, and we'll agree on a decibel reading of some ambient crowd noise. I almost find it a little more distracting than normal crowd noise, because in a normal game there's so many things that happen outside of the game that people cheer about, so there's noise at different times, and with the ambient noise you just play it, and sometimes it goes with the flow of the game, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, you almost need to kind of ride it, where you could increase it when you need to, bring it down when you don't. I was watching an NFL game. I kind of got the feeling some NFL stadiums, they were doing that.
They do, and sometimes it's really jarring, especially if they do it at the wrong time. I saw that on a Monday night or Sunday night game.
It's not an easy thing.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Audio, we live in the world of audio, so it's people take it for granted until it's not there, and then you miss it, and you're like, hey, where's the crowd noise? Or if there is fake crowd noise, you're like, oh, it's too loud or it's too quiet. So sound is very important, John.
Shirley, could you pump in some cheering after a good Troy question to
some applause? Yeah, that would be
Jon
fantastic.
Gilbert, or maybe some laughter.
That would be really good.
Yeah, we need that.
Let's see what we can come up with.
Yeah, maybe she'll find something.
We threw a curveball. We'll have to.
I was joking anyway, Shirley.
So parking 2 hours before the game, and gates open 10:30.
Now, what about tailgating?
No tailgating.
But I did see people can be at their behind their car.
Yeah, people can be at their car. No tents. We really, honestly, we'd prefer people just go straight into the game.
So you're kind of discouraging the whole tailgating thing.
Yeah,
park and go in.
Park and go in, and then really after the game, we really want you to go home after the game too, because I'm looking at from the player perspective now.
Yeah.
Normally everybody wants to get right by Ward where the players come out and hit them 5 and take pictures and all those things, and we're testing 3 times a week.
And are you still included in that?
I am. I did it today, and it is. I feel really bad for the players, but it's funny. The amusing thing is we all are doing it, so we all do this. The walk over to the building, and everybody just looks at each other and goes right or left. so you're trying to determine which lady is the easiest. And
because for folks that don't know, they're shoving this long Q-tip up your nose, right?
Yeah, it's not
comfortable.
It's really more the back of your brain is where they're doing it. And so, like the lady today, I sounded, I'll be honest, I lost my man card this morning. I said, I really don't, I need you to be easy on me. Because the last time I never get a headache.
Yeah.
I mean, never. The first time I did it, I had a headache the whole day because she touched my the back of my brain.
That's what I'm worried about. I feel like I'm glad you don't have COVID, but now you've got a sinus puncture or something. If they're not careful.
So today I see one of our players. I think it was Jaquan McMillan. I saw, and I was like right or left, and he was like, I went right, and so I saw the lady, and I was like, I need you to be easy today. You got to take it easy.
Can we go to a saliva test or something?
Well, I tell you what we do in our league. Now, I'll say this about our medical staff. Dr. Joe Arman, he works out of student health, and then our athletic training staff. They have been unbelievable, and I would just say nationally, trainers do not get the recognition or spotlight that they should, especially in a time like this. our trainers are the MVPs and our team doctors. So, we're doing these 2 nasal tests on Monday, Wednesday. Then on Friday, we do this antigen test.
Okay.
And the antigen test is just the short, I'll call it the shallow swab of the nose. So it really isn't bad. You can do that. But Monday and Wednesday, you better pack a Band-Aid.
You didn't sign up for this one, the initial.
And you feel bad for the kids because they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
It's a lot to play. It tells you how much these kids really do care about playing.
Jon Gilbert joined us in studio. Clip will get ready to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk scheduling with John. We still have some games that have been postponed on the schedule. We'll find out possible makeup. Will there be makeups for games like Marshall? And don't answer that yet, John. This is what we call in the business a cliffhanger. And then we'll talk about...
Is it a clip hanger?
Well, there you go.
Well done. Well, that's the kind of jokes we like here on Pirate Radio.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you, Shirley.
That's the best sound effect we can... Oh, short notice. That's good, I guess. So.
Shirley, I think it was great. Tell you what, let's make...
I love how he's giving me directions on how to produce the show. You come over here, buddy.
Troy, you're a guest on this program.
That's right. Sorry. Doing a great job, Shirls.
Let's let Shirley answer the phone because we're going to open up the booty bag right now. Make somebody a big winner.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
Chico's on the line. Shrimp taco, rice and beans to Chico's for caller number 12, 317-1250. Caller 12 is a winner. We'll have our winner, and we'll have more with Jon Gilbert when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
It's a story that started in a community like ours. Cal Cunningham grew up in Lexington, where church youth groups working at the local brickyard and McDonald's shaped his life. And now Cal's running a different kind of campaign for the U.S. Senate.
I'm Cal Cunningham. I want my service in the U.S. Senate to be about listening and going places where Democrats don't always go. That's what I learned growing up in Lexington, where we don't check voter registration before taking care of our neighbors. We believe in hard work and service, just like the soldiers I served with overseas.
Cal Cunningham volunteered after 9/11, a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserve who served 3 tours and took on corrupt government contractors. And Cal will take on the corruption in Washington that's been rigging the system for the drug and insurance companies. That's why Cal's not taking corporate PAC money, because he believes the top 1% don't need more favors. It's regular folks who need a voice. He'll be a senator on our side.
I'm Cal Cunningham, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Cal for NC.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you can't go to the game, doesn't mean the game can't be brought to you now here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery. That's budlight.com/delivery.
Give me 2 mangoes.
Coming at you. It's a little short. Ow. Sorry. You know what? I'm just going to walk them over to you.
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi, this is Luke Kuechly. Last season, I was captain on defense. This season, since so many of us will be watching football from home, I'm football watching with Pepsi. And you know me, I pour everything I've got into it. All right, football watchers, let's do this. Opening click-offs. Here we go. Click on, click off. Click on, click off. Stretch that thumb. You can't have finger fatigue bringing you down in the postseason. Nice job. And my favorite, second half sip-offs. Pepsi's up, lift, pull, open. Ice cold Pepsi and watching football. Nothing better.
It's not game day without a delicious, refreshing Pepsi, the official soft drink of the National Football League. Head to your nearest retailer, grab your Pepsi before kickoff, then sit back, relax, and cheer on your favorite team. Pepsi, made for football watching.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now, during hurricane season, is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
2020 certainly hasn't been the year many of us were hoping for, but one thing has stayed the same. I'm Tim Sutton with Greenville Auto World, and our commitment to our customers has never wavered. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Your vehicle is a big investment, and our customers trust us to keep them up and running with outstanding service and value. We're Greenville Auto World, across from Hardee's at Bells Fork.
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's the way our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation.
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. It was a good start for the week for the stock market. The Dow was up 250 points and finished at 28,837. The NASDAQ is ahead 296 at 11,876. And the S&P was up 57 at 3,534. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors Stock Market Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. And congratulations to Cameron Yarbrough of Greenville, who picked up a gift certificate to Chico's. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. Enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Plus ice-cold cervezas and Chico's famous margaritas are always available. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, big day for Cameron. He was on the big calls a moment ago, and now he's a winner of a Chico's gift card.
You know, I always like to give little food tips clip on the show with Chico's, one of my favorite spots in town. I was there the other day, got something a little different. You know, I'm no stranger to the combo. I like the chicken soft tacos and the chicken enchilada. I shook it up the other day, Clip. I went chicken soft taco with the soft shell. Then I went chicken taco with their hard shell, and then the chicken enchilada, because the hard shell they bake or they put on the griddle or the flat top, and they heat it up that way. So it has this. They're not taco shells you're buying off the shelf at Food Line. They make the tortillas and then they grill them. So it had a great,
All right.
So try the hard. Yeah, it had a little crunch to it. Try the hard shell next time you go.
Like everywhere Troy goes, it's not necessarily a secret menu, but he does have a tip for every location of how you can make your experience even better.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm going to give it a look.
Went to Clean Eats this afternoon. I was getting a little hungry, but I just got a shake because I didn't want like a smoothie. Yeah. I didn't need a meal. It was after lunch, and I didn't want to eat. So I got. And how about the new sweet new lid?
I'm a big fan of the Clean Eats bowl.
Those are very good, by the way.
The shredded beef bowl and with a little teriyaki is
a little
very
broccoli
solid.
in there, maybe some asparagus.
Very solid.
Yeah,
I recommend the Boston Mass. I believe it's called
the sandwich.
It's like a quesadilla.
Oh, the quesadilla. Yeah,
that's good really spot.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd love to talk about this all day, but we might as well ask John some more questions while he's here.
Yeah, sure.
John Moody had a question, and Troy, I think we'll talk about maybe immediate scheduling in a moment as far as this season, but John also asked about future scheduling. Is that kind of on hold right now with everything going on, or are you having talks with other ADs about that?
I wouldn't necessarily call it on hold, but I do think the focus has been more this year because of the way that games have stopped or started or canceled, the number of games being canceled and everybody trying to move. In fact, today I got on the scheduling platform that we use, and I really was just looking at this year of, okay, if this game gets canceled, these teams are available, just trying to mentally prepare, okay, if something were to happen, here's who I would need to call.
Which is crazy because you've probably never done that before for the season you're in.
Never.
Yeah.
I really wish we would not schedule so far in advance. I am a huge fan of that. The problem is so many people do it that it is you got to start jumping in or you lose games. And so I am mindful of what's out there. I want to continue. Obviously, I know it's important for our fan base to get local teams back on our schedule. We've got state a couple times over the next couple years. Obviously, Carolina is important. Wake, we've got, and then really for this year, I still, obviously Marshall's playing well. They could be in the championship game, which would preclude us from playing the game. If they're not, I'm interested in playing that game, or if we both have a cancellation during the middle of the year, they will be the first call that I'll make.
Yeah, and let's say that you get to that December 5th date, which ECU, at least right now, has available, but if Marshall's in a Conference USA championship game, that's going to take them out. So I was talking to someone about this. Even the following week, I know some games are getting scheduled for December 12th. That's probably too weird for them to play a regular season game after they've played, assuming they've played in a championship game, right?
It is. And then the other component that people really don't think about is the financial impact of that. Because for most of us, that Thursday, Friday after Thanksgiving, school's done.
Yeah.
And teams will be sending their players home, teams that are not going to bowl games, because the costs for them to keep their student athletes and feed them, it gets expensive quickly. And so you'll see a lot of teams that will not want to schedule, if they've got a losing record, not going to a bowl game, they're not going to keep their team in town. They're just going to say, hey, let's all go home and play again next year.
Basketball's around the corner, and I thought we got a release today. We're going to have a pseudo media day, a virtual media day with Dooley coming up over the next week or so. Where do you see things with the fans? And it's a limited schedule this year. But it does look like they're going to play. I guess the protocols are the same for the basketball team as they are for the football team. Where does it stand, do you think, for fans in attendance for basketball?
Well, I think we'll be able to have fans, but obviously it's an indoor venue, so we're going to be limited what we can have. And I do think you're going to see, obviously some social distancing. So the number of people will be limited. And I can also foresee a different court setup. So how all of us think of Minji's may be completely different. It may be the two teams and the scorer's table, and the bleachers could be pushed in, and have just a few people on the floor. I could see something like that happening. Now, we haven't finalized that, so I don't want anybody to take that to the bank. But if I were a betting man, I would probably say that's the direction we'll need to head in, at least initially.
How are things looking? And I know they haven't been looking great financially. I would say, is there any light at the end of the tunnel? But is there still a long tunnel in front of us?
Well, we still have a long way to go. We've made some cuts that we all are aware of. We're going to need to go back and make some further reductions along the way, just because of the lack of revenue coming in. We've got to figure out how to increase revenue where we can. Now, it's really tough with limited attendance and limited things, but as things start to open up, we need to be prepared to pivot quickly where we can, capture more revenue, and so we're going to get out of it. It's been extremely difficult talking to staff and coaches about it, but they're all extremely understanding of, it really is a national issue, for every business. But as you look at East Carolina, there are some really big schools that are in the exact same boat that we're in, and they're doing the exact same things we're doing to limit expenses.
Yeah, I was going to say, you live in it every day. You know what's going on, but you've seen the headlines. You've seen other schools like Memphis and the schools and departments much bigger than ECU, massive cuts to their departments, and unfortunately that means massive job layoffs for a lot of these athletic departments. What are your thoughts when you see that?
Well, I hate it for our people because we have really good people at East Carolina. We did 5 days this summer. We're going to look at additional, based on where we are. And so working on that, it's the reality of where we are. Campus is doing it. We're just one small portion of campus. And when you look at the loss of revenue that campus has had, so when you send students home, which I do think is the right decision with what the chancellor did, we lose revenue in housing, we lose revenue in dining, we lose revenue in parking, we lose revenue in the bookstore. There's just so many ancillary trickle down that campus is hurting. And so we're all in this together. We're going to do our part athletically to continue to tighten our belt, to make sure that we can come out of this. And I do believe we can come out of it.
Jon Gilbert inside the Pirate Radio studios here on a Monday. Let's get our last break in, and we'll come back and have more questions for Jon Gilbert, ECU Athletics Director, and wrap up a Monday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Don't even think about it.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2020 GMC Sierra and save over $10,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Representative John Bell, the Majority Leader of the North Carolina House, and it has been an honor serving the people of Eastern North Carolina the last 8 years. I've had the privilege of working with your local representatives, Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey, as they delivered hundreds of millions of dollars in COVID relief funding to our small businesses, healthcare providers, and families right here in Pitt County. Unfortunately, their opponents are funded by radical liberal out-of-state donors that want to destroy our agriculture heritage, defund the police, and silence your voice by buying this election. This is not North Carolina. We cannot and will not let this happen. Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey are focused on solutions, not revolutions. They will make sure your voice is heard and represent our Eastern North Carolina values. So Pirate Nation, the choice is clear. On November 3rd, please support and vote for Dr. Perrin Jones and Chris Humphrey for the North Carolina House. Strong voices for Eastern North Carolina. Paid for by the John Bell Committee.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Temperatures are in the low 30s at 10 a.m., increasing sharply to 75 degrees by 1 p.m., and then dropping into the teens by 10 p.m. So before you go to work, put on some gloves, pack some shorts, and a parka. That should cover you for the day.
Your heating and cooling is taking a beating. Guarantee your family's comfort all fall and winter with a new Train system. It's hard to stop a train. For a limited time, get a new Train system with 0% financing for 60 months. Go to DelcorInc.com for more information. Delcor, the service professionals. See your independent Train dealer for details. Call 1-888-534-6898 for details.
Hi, this is Scott Muller with Clean Eats. Carol and I would like to personally thank all of you for supporting Clean Eats so well through these tough times. We are blessed to have such a great community helping us weather the storm. If you're having trouble consistently eating healthy, go to cleaneats.com and click on meal plans and give our tasty and affordable meals a try. Or stop by the cafe for lunch and let us show you just how simple and easy it is to get started and stay on track. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are two things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
This is Marcus Crandall, former ECU Pirate and Grey Cup champion. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Atlantic Wireless, your local authorized U.S. cellular agent. Atlantic Wireless now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, guys, you cannot impress the ladies with that sloppy, unkept look, and that goes for you married guys, too. Time to get to the Man Cave in Greenville, the premier destination for professional manicures, pedicures, and hair services for men only. Enjoy a cold beverage, a snack, and let the professionals make you look your best. Visit mancaveandnails.com and book your appointment today. The Man Cave is now open on the corner of Fire Tower and Evans. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thanks, Shirley. I should do a before and after picture, a visit to the Man Cave.
That'd be good. How are your nails looking?
Not great.
Yeah.
What about the nose wax? I think that's the next thing, Clip.
Nose, yeah.
Yeah, do they do that, Shirley?
They trim beards.
I have no idea.
I
It's the
think
Man Cave. It's not the girl cave. How
that's
would
right.
you know?
Well, she's the producer. Like the producer should know.
I don't know,
You should
but
know everything, Shirley.
I don't know, but all I got to say is video or it didn't happen.
Yeah, good point. We got
you got to get that on video.
So I do think like it's a underrated grooming thing for men is the nose hairs. Like
Yeah.
I'll have to check. I don't think I have a lot
I don't
of
know.
hair. I've got some going in right now with this mustache, but not coming out. So I don't know. I'll check it out. Guest update, Troy D. And this is pretty cool. Just confirmed this during this hour. So I was on the Navy website today. I was going to get up with their media relations guy, talk to an announcer, play-by-play voice. But I started looking at their staff for whatever reason, and I saw that Brian Blick is their director of football operations. He played at Rose. He went to Navy, and now is their director of ops. So coming up Thursday on the show, and people around town listening might know that last name.
Yeah, I think his dad was a judge. I believe Judge Joe Blick.
So awesome. We'll talk to Brian, former Rose quarterback and Navy football player, now director of ops, coming up on Thursday.
That's cool. I didn't know that's where he was now.
Yeah.
So neat Greenville connection there. That'll be a great interview. Once again, Jon Gilbert joining us on the program here in hour 3. John, had a question from Josh on online through our Facebook Live feed. Wanted to know. I probably think most people would know about the mask requirement, but if someone's going and they don't know, what is the policy if they are attending the ECU game, what the situation is with mask? Will they be required to obviously have a mask on to enter, but then about eating and drinking, they can take it? What is the policy like once you're in the stadium with the mask?
They will need a mask to enter the stadium, and when they're in their seat, they will need to wear their mask. Now, obviously, if they're eating or drinking, they can take it down. The only exception we'll make is, and we did have this in the first game, we do have people that medically have a card that you can show, and so. If you don't have the card, then obviously you've got to wear the mask except for eating and drinking.
Or just keep eating and drinking the whole game, and then it won't be a problem.
Keep going to the concession stand.
Support the program,
that's
right?
Well,
do a little extra for the effort here.
That's right.
Help the Pirates out. You're doing your civic duty by buying an extra beer.
That's right. But yes, mask will be required, and social distancing, all those things will be.
I got you. How much staff do you have to have now for this game versus the last game? As you staff up for a football game, but it's still a small crowd.
Yeah, still will need some staff, and obviously we had a lot of people that worked the game internally the last game, and we'll continue to get that. We'll need to hire a few people for outside security for gates. But we'll do a lot of it in-house to try to reduce costs.
Is there just a specific few gates open, or how do you handle
per fire marshal code, we'll have to open them all, but they'll be closed but unlocked, and then have specific gates. And that's another good point. Like, whatever gate that people will get their ticket from, that's the gate that they'll go in and out. We really don't want people going, in and out different gates, and then there'll be no pass outs. So typically, if you're a Pirate Club member, you can go to your car, come back in, all those things. That will not happen during the Dowdy-Fickling COVID
situation
era.
Yeah, all right.
And to recap, 10:30 gates open, you said?
Parking lot's 2 hours, so parking lot's at 10, gates at 10:30, kick at 12 noon on ESPN Plus.
We wish it was more, obviously, Troy D, but it'll be more of a game day feeling in Greenville, I think, on Saturday.
I think so.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a step in the right direction.
Weather's supposed to be good. Little cool day, so should be a good day for football.
While you're here, let's get your game day prediction. What do you think, East Carolina versus Navy from the AD?
I always like the Pirates. I'm not I think it's going to be a competitive game. Obviously, it's going to come down to can we stop them defensively? Their offense. I feel good about where we're developing and how we're going and all the intangible things, but feel good about the Pirates.
All right, you want to put a score on it?
I do not.
Fair enough. Asked and answered. Yeah. All right, John enjoyed it. Troy D enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Great to see you as always. I'll come back anytime.
Thank you, sir. Troy, we'll see you Thursday.
Yes, I'll be bringing
a guy a little more crazy than John.
Touchdown. Although John's pretty funny. He's got
I said crazy, not funny.
Yeah, that's true. Touchdown. Tony Collins will be back with us. So Thursday. And
hadn't talked football with Tony in a while. That'll be fun.
Yeah, especially NFL too. We'll touch base with him about this Patriots and see what's going on. So
looking forward to that. Got a big edition of Pirate Radio Live on the way Tuesday at 3 o'clock for Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, the crew here. I'm Clip Brock. We'll see you Tuesday at 3. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live.